There's no shame in having to ask for help every now and again. When you're a baseball team in a playoff chase, however, you don't want to have to do it. The Rock Hill Bluehawks don't need it yet, but their margin for error is now slim to none. It's a crucial tilt tonight from the Hollow. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hollow of Rock Hill, the home of the Rock Hill Bluehawks, who tonight welcome the McKinney-Boyd Broncos for the second meeting of this regular season series. I'm Brian Sutcliffe alongside Mr. Colton Boston, and this is the Bluehawk Baseball pregame show from Regency Sports Broadcasting. And Colton, the win last week against Prosper gave the Bluehawks a little bit of wiggle room as they headed into the second half of district play, but after a couple of walk-off losses back-to-back, that margin for error may already be gone.
Yeah, Brian, after that 5-4 win against Prosper here a week ago tonight, the Bluehawks lost a couple of heartbreakers in walk-off fashion. Now, these were disappointing losses because the Bluehawks led both games in the 7th inning. See, Rock Hill led 7-6 against Prosper on the cold, windy night Friday after scoring 3 in the 7th, but ended up falling 8-7 in 8 innings. And on Saturday, it looked like the Hill would steal a game 1 at McKinney-Boyd in a game where they only had 2 hits, and it was a real pitcher's battle as Boyd's Brady Daniel hit, but a blast to left that easily got one out of the park for Brady Slanina. He needed his second home run of the season. The Bluehawks then took a 2-1 lead in the top of the 7th, turning a leadoff walk, a sac bunt, a steal, and a Reed Tebow sac fly into a hitless run. The Broncos then flipped the script in the bottom of the inning, scoring 2 runs to tie and then winning the game thanks to Bluehawk walks and errors. And the final was 3-2 Boyd. But Cole Carroll was strong again. 6 1/3 innings, 3 allowed runs, but all unearned. Now, Brian, the Bluehawks are just a few plays away from challenging for a top 2 league spot right now.
Yeah, they are. And 3 of the Bluehawks' 6 league losses, this is one of the craziest stats of the season, they've had a lead in the 7th inning or later. You look at the district opener against Allen, led that one late, led a couple of times. Their last 2 losses then to Prosper and Boyd. They've also got 2 one-run wins. So you could also, on the flip side, say the Bluehawks could be anywhere from 6-3 in the league to 1-8. So maybe being right there in the middle of those 2 ends of the spectrum is the fairest spot. So the Bluehawks currently sit at 3-6, but they're looking up at some teams in the 6-6A standings. Allen all alone by 2 games. They are 7-0. They had their district bye last week and then got going on Saturday, whipping up on Princeton 8-0. The Eagles have won 7 straight. The Bluehawks are the only team to lose by fewer than 3 runs to Allen so far, again, in that 14-inning thriller in the district opener. Plano West at 7-2. They've won 6 straight of their own. In that 6-game winning streak, they've allowed all of 7 runs. They swept Plano last week and then whipped McKinney on Saturday 10-0. Then it's Prosper at 5-2. They split with Rock Hill last week and then beat Plano 10-0. So a lot of blowouts in the district outside of the 3-2 game, Boyd winning in a walk-off over Rock Hill. Those Boyd Broncos now, after that win, are 4-3. They've won 3 straight. They swept Plano East last week and then, of course, beat the Bluehawks on Saturday afternoon. McKinney right there with them at 4-3. They swept Princeton in 2 one-run games. Plano East falling off just a little bit after a red-hot start. They're now 4-4. A big series coming up starting Thursday and then next Tuesday against Rock Hill. Thursday here and Tuesday out in East Plano. Then you got Rock Hill sliding in at 7th right now at 3-6. Plano a game behind at 2-7, and then Princeton at 0-9. But another one of the weirder stats in the league, Princeton is 0-9. 6 of their losses are by either 1 or 2 runs, so they have been right there. Don't be surprised if Princeton doesn't shock somebody that maybe ends up derailing someone's playoff spot. 10-6 is probably the magic record to get the playoffs without the need for help. And Rock Hill can still get there, but it would mean winning their last 7 games, starting with tonight against Boyd. When the Bluehawk Baseball pregame show continues, we'll break down tonight's matchup. This is Bluehawk Baseball from Regency Sports.
Fans, when it's time to gear up like a champion, head to Shields in the Colony. Hey folks, this is Bluehawk Senior Anthony Gonzalez. From top brand sports gear to apparel for the whole family, Shields has everything you need to play hard and cheer louder. Visit Shields at Grandscape in the Colony, proud supporter of Rock Hill Baseball.
Welcome back to the Hollow, where Brady Slanina will get the ball in another high-pressure situation. Last time out, right here last Tuesday against Prosper, he was brilliant in his first appearance on the mound in a few weeks. He went the entire way, striking out 8. The Broncos will send Cade Reagan to the mound. He got a win his last time out against Plano East, a game the Broncos won 12-6. He went 4 2/3 strong innings, allowed 5 runs, 4 earned on 5 hits. He struck out 4 and walked 3 while throwing 97 pitches. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. The Rock Hill Blue Hawks are coached by Sean Stanton, now in his 6th season. He's just 4 wins away from 100 in his career. His 2026 Blue Hawks are 12-8-2 overall. They are 3-6 in 6A district play. This is the lineup that will face Boyd starter Cade Reagan. We'll give you those starters right after we have the playing of the national anthem. A beautiful night for baseball, about 82 degrees, some high clouds, expected to be a flawless evening, but windy again. That has been a story almost throughout the entire district schedule. There's been a lot of wind. We'll talk to you more about that as we get things going. First pitch coming in just a couple of minutes. Carson Roy will lead things off for the Blue Hawks. The center fielder gets things going. Ethan Kalanick, the right fielder, will bat second. Anthony Gonzalez, the second baseman, bats third. Brady Slanina hit his second home run of the season in the 3-2 loss to McKinney Boyd on Saturday. The pitcher bats cleanup. Reed Tebow, the catcher, bats fifth. Aiden McDaniel hits sixth and plays third. Trevor Stum gets the start at first base. Stum bats seventh. Braxton Clyde, the designated hitter, batting for the starting shortstop. Lucas Bell bats eighth. And Elijah Guevara, the left fielder, will bat ninth. The Boyd Broncos are coached by Brooke Court. They are 9-10 overall, 4-3 in district. This will be their lineup, taking on the senior righty Brady Slanina. Drew Bradley's the left fielder. He'll lead things off. He'll be followed by Bryce Dahl, the second baseman. Cade Reagan pitches and hits third. Josh Blakeman's the shortstop. He bats fourth. The catcher, Joey Schwartz, bats fifth. He'll be followed by the first baseman, Cole Ashley. Graham Daniels, the right fielder, bats seventh. Ty Cherry's the DH. He bats for the starting center fielder, Austin Aldridge. And Carson Wade, the third baseman, will bat ninth. And they will take on that senior righty. Brady Slanina has definitely looked the part of the ace of this staff. This will be his fifth appearance, his fourth start. He is 3-0 with a 2.01 ERA in 24 1/3 innings. He's allowed just 9 runs, 7 earned on 11 hits, a 23-6 strikeout to walk ratio, and a appallingly low batting average against of 125. In his last outing, that 5-4 win right here, he went 7 strong, allowed 4 runs, just 2 earned on 4 hits, struck out 8 and walked 3. Hammered the strike zone at nearly a 70% clip. So again, you don't want to overstate the importance of a game like this. You still have 6 games after, so there's plenty of baseball left to be played, but the path could potentially look a lot different based on how this game goes here today, Mr. Boston.
Yeah, I mean, it's such an important game for Rock Hill. When Rock Hill broke up the series against Prosper, it allowed a little bit of room for them to maybe make some errors, but now losing the first game to McKinney Boyd, it kind of gets rid of that error room. And so it just makes every game so much more important after this, is like you said, to comfortably make the playoffs. It's going to be 10-6. And so putting the pressure on, if you want to comfortably make it, you have to win the next 7 games. It's a lot of pressure for players to go through, especially in a sport where you're playing 2-3 times a week, where you don't have a lot of time to reset from these games.
Drew Bradley, Bryce Dahl, and Cade Reagan will dig in against Brady Slonina. Again, a decent wind blowing out to left here today, and this is not a huge ballpark, so we'll see how those two things combined as Slonina rocks and fires. The first pitch is a fastball fouled away. We are just underway at 7:30 on the dot, and it looks like Drew Bradley is heading to first on what must have been catcher's interference. Okay, well, just like that. We're going to guess it was catcher obstruction. Again, it was just on the first pitch of the ball game. So now it's Bradley over at first base as the leadoff base runner for Bryce Dahl. He was 1 for 3 with a double. Also was hit by a pitch, swiped a bag. First pitch, squares to bunt, takes a pitch outside. It's ball 1. The good news for the Blue Hawks is when you look at the rest of their schedule, they have Plano East, Plano, and McKinney. Those are teams that are either in the middle of the league table or down near the bottom. So winning out wouldn't be crazy after tonight. This is probably the toughest one they have left as the 1-0 pitch is bunted well, and Tebow will put it back in the holster, but now he'll have an easy throw over to third. But into third base is Drew Bradley safely as the Blue Hawk defense stumbling around a little bit. There was nobody covering the bag, so it's an infield single. Bradley moves to third, and just like that, the Broncos have runners at the corners with nobody out.
Yeah, for Bradley, it was just a really good read as a base runner. When you have a bunt, it's going to pull the third baseman up, and Tebow able to get the ball and look to first, but no one covering third. For Bradley, when you see an open third base this early in the game, it's probably a dream scenario, but for Rock Hill, a very important game with runners on the corners so far with 0 outs.
So Cade Reagan will have an opportunity to help himself out. The pitcher digs in from the right side. He squares to bunt, takes a fastball high, ball 1. Reagan was 0 for 3, was hit by a pitch in the 3-2 McKinney-Boyd win on Saturday afternoon. One ball, no strikes, runners at first and third, nobody out. We're just underway. He squares again, pushes the bunt foul down the right side, 1-1. Lots happened in the first 2 minutes of action here. You had I guess, again, we're assuming it was a catcher's interference allowing Drew Bradley to go to first base on the first pitch. Then just 2 pitches later, Bryce Dahl lays a bunt down. Tebow's able to field it but decides not to throw. I don't think he would have had a play at first, as he may not have fielded it cleanly necessarily. And then Bradley took the extra bag going to third because nobody was covering the bag. 1 ball, 1 strike. He squares again. Another bunt attempt punched foul down the right side. More of a safety squeeze as Bradley was not moving until Reagan was able to make contact. But after 2 failed attempts, we'll see what Reagan opts to do. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Bradley at third, Bryce Dahl at first. Look at the importance of this game. You have Boyd right now at 4-3, Rock Hill at 3-6. And Boyd is a team that you would expect to maybe end up in that 4th spot. That's one of the teams you're competing with. The 1-2 in on the fist. Reagan able to punch it straight back. Count stays 1-2.
Yeah, and coming off of such a close game on Saturday, it almost feels like it's a completely different team from McKinney-Boyd, as you know, the game was very defense pitcher heavy, but now so far no outs. It feels like this game has offensively progressed a lot more for Boyd than it did on Saturday.
Slonina bluffs the throw to third, looks Dahl back to first. Slonina working from the stretch from the first base side of the rubber. Gets ready to bring the 1-2. It's on its way. Foul back. Reagan up there fighting.
Yeah, and for Reagan, from a batter that didn't get a hit in the last game against Rock Hill, being able to draw this at-bat out, really important for the Broncos.
Bradley at third. Bryce Dahl still over at first. Count still 1-2 to Reagan. Slanina delivers. Breaking ball. And on the fist again. Reagan is fighting off everything Brady can throw up there. 5 consecutive strikes. 4 of them on foul balls. One ball, 2 strikes. Slanina gives a look over to Bryce Dahl. Comes to the belt high set. The 1-2. Fastball wide. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Blue Hawks won't be sad not to have another district Saturday game, as there were 2 weekends that the Hill had a game on Friday and then played another district game the day after, and they ended up going 0-4 in those games. I talked to Coach Stanton after the game against Boyd. He said, won't be sad not to have another sort of district Friday, Saturday. There'll be a couple Saturday games before the end of the season, but those will be non-district. Slanina, after bluffing another throw to third, looks in. Battling Cade Reagan is opposite Hurler. Boyd looking to strike first here in the top of the first. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. Popped up. That will get pushed into the bleachers. About 5 rows from the top. Reagan is definitely making him work.
Yeah,
this will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat.
And earlier you mentioned just how windy it is out there. It's currently blowing at 14 miles an hour, gusting up into 25 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's come down a little bit. It was gusting harder than this about 90 minutes ago when we started rolling in to get set up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The battle continues. Here it comes. That is in on the fist and foul to the left this time. So Reagan mixing it up. Spraying the ball all over the place. Brady was dominant against Prosper. He didn't allow a base runner until the late innings. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners away from the corners. They've been there for a bit. Here it comes. Another foul. I feel confident saying this is the longest played opponent, at least in district. This will go at least 11 pitches. There have been 6 foul balls. Slanina will try again to put away Reagan. Here's the pitch. That is hit through the hole on the left side, a base hit. What an at-bat for Cade Reagan. He's given himself and his Boyd Broncos a 1-0 lead here in the first.
So an at-bat that takes 11 pitches, and it'll bring in the first run for the McKinney Boyd Broncos this game, as Josh Blakeman will come up with runners on first and second.
Here's Josh Blakeman with runners at first and second. Still nobody out, a run in here for Boyd. Squares to bunt, takes a pitch low and away, ball 1.
Yeah, Blakeman went 2 for 4 in the last game against Rock Hill. Sorry, he had a double in that game with an RBI.
One ball, no strikes. Slanina turns, bluffs the throw to second. So Brady and the Blue Hawks in a bit of a jam here in the first. Still nobody out. The first 3 have reached on a catcher's interference, an infield single, and a seeing eye single. Trevor Stum well in, expecting a bunt from Blakeman. The 1-0 pitch is a little low, 2-0.
So Brady getting some signs from Bell in shortstop in between the pitches.
2 balls, no strikes. Here it comes. And that is hit just down the line and fair. It'll roll around for a little bit. Ethan Kalanick over to get it. It Karams off the bullpen. Coming around to score is Bryce Dahl. Cade Reagan is right behind him. He will score standing up. It is a 3-spot. After a 2 RBI double for Josh Blakeman, Boyd leads it 3-zip. That was just perfectly placed.
And it was a really awkward bounce off of the bullpen at just the angle that it comes back in. And with it being a, not a entirely solid fence, it just hit it a little bit wrong. And it went for a bit of a wild ride for Ethan Kalanick trying to read the bounce
Yeah,
off
it's
of it.
unlucky.
That's
unlucky.
a hard read.
That bounce probably earned Boyd an extra run. 3 runs in, nobody out. Josh Blakeman at second for Joey Schwartz. Schwartz had a hit on Tuesday. The first pitch is a called strike. It's 0-1. Blue Hawks looking for their first out. Boyd needed every bit of 7 innings in a game that took less than an hour and 50 minutes on Saturday to score 3 runs. They've got 3 in the top of the first. Slonina, a couple of looks back. Here's the pitch. That's fouled back. It is 0-2.
Yeah, Joey was only one of 2 players in that entire game against Rock Hill on Saturday to have a walk, and he actually had 2 out of the 3 for the Broncos. So we know Joey has some great plate vision when he needs it.
Yeah, Cole Carroll was excellent on Saturday, and when you look at his performance from his last 2 starts, we'll tell you about that here in just a second. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, runner at second. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball floats high, 1-2. Cole Carroll, this is why some people will tell you that the pitcher win statistic is somewhat meaningless, as Carroll ended up taking a pair of losses. He went 12 1/3 innings and allowed 1 earned run. But his team ended up dropping both games. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. Low and away, 2-2. And Slonina's at 21 pitches, and the Blue Hawks don't have an out yet. That Cade Reagan at bat was magnificent. That can really be depleting for a pitcher to have to throw 11 or 12 pitches. And end up giving an RBI single. Slonina back to work. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Schwartz. Here it comes. High, 3-2.
Yeah, and Brian, how do you think with an at-bat that goes that long with that many fouls, how do you think that affects Brady's confidence as a pitcher and his abilities to get these quick outs?
Well, I think it'll all depend on how he finishes out here. Still got some work to do. But 3 runs are in here for the visitors. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the payoff pitch. In on the fist and fouled back. And these Bronco hitters are not being fooled yet. They have not had a swing and a miss thus far. And they're not taking a lot of pitches. You look at Slonina's thrown 23 pitches, 15 are strikes, and most of them are either foul balls or a couple base hits. Slonina's got a new ball. He'll try the payoff pitch one more time. Here comes the 3-2. Ball 4 high. And Sean Stanton has popped out of the dugout to go have a chat with his senior. Coming into play, a ridiculous strikeout to walk ratio for Slonina of 23 strikeouts to 6 walks. The Blue Hawks certainly have the firepower. They're not going to be too frustrated with a 3-0 deficit early on, but they got to hold it to that. There's 3 runs in, runners at first and second, and nobody out. A long conversation on the mound. The entire infield huddled up with their skipper, Sean Stanton, just 4 wins away from 100 in his career. He's the only coach the program's ever had. This is about as long a discussion as I think we've seen Coach Stanton have out there, and he's finally wrapped it up. So Cole Ashley would bat with runners at first and second and nobody out. Boyd leading 3-0 in the top of the first.
Ashley went 1 for 3 in the last game against Rock Hill with a double. He's got a runner in scoring position on second right now.
Yeah, his double was ripped. Slonina after the convo, middle infielders in. First pitch, squares to bunt, and bunts it on the left. Slonina bobbles the ball, then throws to first. Did very well to recover, as he was going to try to get Blakeman as the lead runner at third. He bobbled the ball and had the wherewithal to get himself collected and fire over to first, but it is a successful 1-3 sack bunt that moves runners to second and third with one out for Graham Daniels.
It was a great recovery from Brady there, just getting the ball back in his hand, making the quick adjustment. Okay, instead of throwing to third, we're going to throw to first, get the quick out, and possibly make a stop to these Broncos offensive run that they're having so far in the first.
Well, and interesting, the Blue Hawks opt not to bring the infield in here with a runner at third and one out. Graham Daniels hits from the left side, and Slonina moves back to the windup. First pitch from Brady is painted nicely on the outer half, strike one. Daniels was 1 for 3, had an RBI. Blue Hawks led the game 2-1 in the seventh. They nearly stole a game in which they only managed 2 hits. 0-1 pitch, way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, as Slonina is getting close to 30 pitches here in the first inning. Blakeman at third, Schwartz at second. The pitch, fouled straight down. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So with Brady already at about 30 pitches, have you talked with Coach Stan at all, or would you have any predictions on what their pitching lineup might look like for this game?
Well, I think it all depends on how long Brady is able to go, right? I think certainly Troy Falke has been a guy out of the bullpen as the 1-2 is punched back into the screen. I think if, in any case, if you have a starter that, isn't able to get through the middle innings, typically a guy like Falke will come to the game who's pitched well out of the bullpen. And then I think we've seen guys like Grayson Richards as well. And then as you head into the later innings, Elijah Guevara has sort of stepped into that closer role. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Outside with the fastball, 2-2. These Bronco hitters seem to be seeing the ball very well here thus far. Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Runners at second and third. The pitch got him swinging. That is the first swing and a miss we've seen, and it comes at a big moment. Keeps runners at second and third now with 2 outs. Ty Cherry did not bat in the game on Saturday, so getting his first plate appearance of the series. Blakeman still at third, Schwartz at second, if that's not a courtesy runner at second. Schwartz is the catcher. They may be running for him. The first pitch is a pumped-in fastball, a little bit wide, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch, weakly hit right to Slonina. He will scoop it over to first to retire the side, 1-3, but the Broncos send 8 men to the plate, 3 score on 3 hits. They leave 2 in scoring position. Circle that in your scorecard. But they managed to plate 3 in the top of the first. Blue Hawks offense with some early work to do. They trail early 3-0. This is Blue Hawk baseball from Regency Sports.
Fans, when it's time to gear up like a champion, head to Shields in the Colony. Hey folks, this is Blue Hawk senior Anthony Gonzalez. From top brand sports gear to apparel for the whole family, Shields has everything you need to play hard and cheer louder. Visit Shields at Grandscape in the Colony, proud supporter of Rock Hill Baseball.
It takes Brady Slonina 33 pitches and nearly 20 minutes to get through the top of the first. Boyd leads 3-0, and I think the Blue Hawks would have to look and say they may be a little fortunate that they're within 3 after that, as there were a lot of base runners. They had guys in scoring position with less than 2 out, but ended up stranding runners at second and third to keep it at a 3-0 ball game. Brian Sutcliffe and Colton Boston getting set to watch Carson Roy, Ethan Kalanick, and Anthony Gonzalez face Cade Reagan for the first time. Reagan had an RBI single at the end of a endless at bat against Brady Slonina. So he and his mates have staked his team to a 3-0 lead.
Now, Brian, Sean Stanton's been with the team for 6 years here at Rock Hill. He's just 4 wins away from win 100. Now, you've been able to talk with him a little bit. In a game where you're down 3 runs at the end of the top of the first, how do you think he's going to be able to help this team come back and not let it get to their head?
Well, I think if there's anything that we've seen through these 6 years is that this is a resilient program. They don't get down on themselves. You're not going to see anyone over there, their heads hanging, saying, oh, man, here we go. They're going to keep plugging, and I would not be shocked to see a big response here in the bottom of the first, particularly here in front of the home crowd. Cade Reagan finishing his warm-up tosses. The right-hander got the win in his last appearance. That was against Plano East. Pitched reasonably well, not too bad. 4 2/3 innings, allowed four earned runs, 5 runs total on 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 3 walks. The scouting report is, can get up into the mid to upper 80s. Sometimes can struggle with control. He will issue a walk here or there. So we'll see how this Blue Hawk offense deals with Mr. Reagan. Carson Roy will get things going, hitting .441 for the season. The first pitch is a breaking ball that ducks in at the knees for a called strike, 0-1. Carson was 0 for 3 with a strikeout on Saturday. 3 homers, 16 RBI, leads the team in most offensive categories. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball on the outer half, 0-2.
Yeah, and Roy's also got a 5-game hitting streak going on. Could extend it to 6 here tonight.
No balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff man. Blue Hawks need some base runners, trailing 3-0 early. The 0-2 way outside, 1-2. Drew Bradley's in left, Austin Aldridge in center, Graham Daniels in right. Carson Wade is the third baseman, Josh Blakeman at short, Bryce Dahl at second, Cole Ashley at first, Joey Schwartz behind the dish, getting set to receive a 1-2 pitch from Cade Reagan. It is on its way. It is a breaking ball in on the fist, hit on one weak hop over to the third baseman, and the ball gets past Cole Ashley. Carson Roy reaches on an infield error. Let's see if that's the spark the Blue Hawks need here in the first. That looked fieldable. I don't know where we'll give the error to the third baseman, as that ball was certainly too low not to require a decent play from the first baseman.
So Kalanick batting with a .303 batting average so far this year. It's a little elevated in district, batting with a .350. And he's got 3 stolen bases over his past 5 games, and he's 10 for 10 so far on the season.
Kalanick waits on the first pitch. It is a fastball wide, ball 1. Kalanick hitting .350 in district. 1 ball, no strikes, runner at first. The pitch, that is stroked through the left side, a base hit. And just like that, the Blue Hawks bring the tying run to the plate in the person of Anthony Gonzalez. Runners at first and second, nobody out, looking to chip away at this 3-0 deficit.
And Gonzalez, over the season, when he's batting with runners in scoring position, he bats with a .441. He's got a .385 batting average so far in the season alone. I mean, when you have guys on base, I think you want Gonzalez up to bat.
Well, you're going to get a good at bat, and I'd be floored if this at bat ended with anything other than, even if it ends in an out, a productive one. As Gonzalez knows how to work all fields, doesn't try to do too much at the plate. An on-base percentage in district of .600, he leads the team. Carson Roy at second, Kalanick at first. He squares to bunt and punches it right in front of the plate, but they'll say it first hit foul before ducking forward, 0-1. This is not the biggest ballpark you're going to see. It's 300 to the fair poles, just 360 to dead center, 345 to the power alleys, and with that wind blowing out to right, it would not shock me if we see 1 or 2 get out of here tonight. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Reagan just turns and looks Carson Roy back into second. Blue Hawks trailing 3-0 here in the bottom of the first. Brady Slanina threw 33 pitches, 22 strikes. It wasn't an issue of free passes or anything like that, just really tough at bats from the Broncos. The pitch is punched foul. Ends up going about halfway to third base before careening over the third base line. And Roy will head back to second, Kalanick back to first. Roy reached on a throwing error by Carson Wade over at third base. And then Kalanick followed it up with a line drive single into left. Blue Hawks already have half as many hits as they had on Saturday. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That is lined foul out of play down the left field line. We'll keep it at no balls and 2 strikes. We got a nice crowd for Teacher Appreciation Night. The left-handed hitter waits on the right-handed pitcher. Stays 0-2, throw to second. Back in with the dive is Carson Roy. Covering was the second baseman Bryce Dahl.
Yeah, and I think for a game where Rock Hill went down 3-0 pretty early, this is a really good batting start for them as both guys up to bat, both on bases right now.
0-2 pitch, way inside. Ant-Man gets out of the way. It's 1-2. Getting close to tying Uriah Walters and Brenner Cox for the program's all-time hits record. He's just 4 shy. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners away from first and second, nobody out. Here's the pitch. That is stroked over to right. Bryce Dahl applies the tag, throws to first. It will be a 4-3 double play. Kalanick is tagged out. Moving to third is Roy, but suddenly there's 2 down for Brady Slanina.
Now Brady, he's got a 6-game hitting streak. He's got a .413 average. He's got 5 RBI hits over his last 5 games, so about an RBI a game. He's got Carson Roy on third right now.
Brady homered his second of the year on Saturday. First pitch, swing and a miss as the ball gets through the wickets of Joey Schwartz, but doesn't get far enough away for Carson Roy to attempt to score. So Blue Hawks had runners at first and second with nobody out. It's now a runner at third and 2 outs. For Slanina, hitting .413 with 2 bombs, 22 RBI. He has hit safely in his last 3 games. Has RBI in 3 straight. 5 batted in the last 3 games. Here's the 0-1. Cut on and missed. Diving out of the zone, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at third. Reagan trying to wiggle out of the jam. Here's the 0-2. Got him swinging. Good breaking ball. And the Blue Hawks strand a runner at third. We are through an inning of play here at the Hollow of Rock Hill. McKinney Boyd leading 3-0. This is Blue Hawk Baseball from Regency Sports.
Hey there, folks. This is Rock Hill senior Grayson Richards telling you about a company that's family-owned, tail-approved, clean cars, wagging dogs. That's the Scooters way. Go see them in McKinney at 12041 West University Drive. The team at Scooters says go Blue Hawks.
Carson Wade, Drew Bradley, and Bryce Dahl, the 9-1-2 hitters, facing Brady Slanina. Cade Reagan needed just 14 pitches to get through the top of the first. Blue Hawks had an opportunity. Runners at first and second with nobody out, but not able to score. We will keep you apprised of scores from around the district. As there'll be 6 games remaining in district after this one. It moves quickly, Colton Boston. Plano East is the team with the bye this round through district, so their next game will be here on Thursday against the Blue Hawks. Holiday week coming up this weekend, so no game on Friday. Plano West and McKinney are scoreless in the top of the third. Blue Hawks, along with getting a win here tonight, need teams like McKinney and Plano to start beating teams that are not Rock Hill. We really haven't had many of those yet, which is why you're starting to see some of the teams build some breathing room in the top part of the league. Prosper leading Plano 2-0 in the top of the third. Allen up 2-0 in the bottom of the second on Princeton. Carson Wade will get things going as Brady Slanina looks for a tidier inning. First pitch is a fastball that is lined to right, but right at Ethan Kalanick was playing in a bit. Had him played well. One pitch, one out. Exactly what you needed when you threw 33 pitches in the first.
Yeah, so Kalanick will hold Wade to no hits so far in the series against Rock Hill. And it'll lead Drew Bradley up to the plate with one out.
Yeah, he reached on an obscure play. We're guessing it was catcher's interference on the first play of the ball game. Was awarded first, ended up coming around to score. First pitch is a fastball, strike called right at the knees, 0-1.
Yeah, and in the last game against Rock Hill, he went 1 for 4, batting with a .250 average.
0-1 pitch. Fastball low and away, 1-1. Bases empty, one out, top two. Boyd leading Rock Hill 3-0 in a game that the Blue Hawks really need to have. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch to Bradley is a fastball, strike call on the outer corner, 1-2. And Slanina looks like he's settling down just a little bit. This is important because if Boyd's able to win this game, they'd be 5-3 in district, and the Blue Hawks would fall to 3-7. The Blue Hawks have played 2 extra games. Here's the 1-2. Just barely nubbed foul. Doesn't even get out of the batter's circle. But Bradley's able to stay alive. So it would essentially mean Boyd would be 3 games up on the Blue Hawks, and they would have a tiebreaker advantage. So you're then talking about needing to win out and then get some help, you would imagine. And there's help to be had. Some of these teams up at the top have got to start playing each other. Here's the 1-2. Late swing, but stays alive and bounces it foul over toward the Bronco dugout on the first base side. Count stays 1-2. If you're able to get the win, you're at 4-6. Boyd's at 4-4 and still in the driver's seat. Slanina brings the 1-2. That is ripped down the left field line. A fair ball. It will one-hop the wall. Heading into second is Drew Bradley, so he has reached in both plate appearances. He's at second with 1 out for Bryce Dahl.
So a quick first out for Rock Hill. That now runner on second. It was, so, 1 out in the inning so far. It's a lot better for the Blue Hawks so far than what the last inning looked like. I'm just interested to see how the Rock Hill defense is able to stop this momentum that's being built by the Broncos right now.
Trevor Stum in a bit at first. Aiden McDaniel even with the bag over at third. First pitch, that is a pop bunt. Coming on hard is McDaniel, but would have had to wear a cape to get there that fast. It's 0-1. Dahl singled and scored his first time on basically a bunt single. Just ducked it out in front of home plate. Reed Tebow was able to field it, but wasn't able to catch it clean enough to attempt a throw. I think he just decided, I'm going to eat this and not risk a bad throw, with a runner heading to third on the play. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Drew Bradley at second. The pitch is over the head of Dahl, but Tebow able to grab it. It's 1-1.
Dahl went 1 for 3 with a double and a stolen base in the last game against the Blue Hawks.
The game between these two teams on Saturday was the only game played that wasn't a shutout. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here it comes. Late on the fastball. Squeezed by Tebow. Dahl might have got a tiny piece. It is 1-2. Allen beat Princeton 8-0. Plano West and Prosper both with 10-0 wins over McKinney and Plano, respectively. And then you had Boyd beating the Blue Hawks 3-2. It's really been a season of tiny margins for the Blue Hawks. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. Slanina will look the runner back to second. That's Drew Bradley. The last 4 games for the Blue Hawks have been decided by 5 total runs, with the last 3 coming by 1 run. The Blue Hawks now have played 9 one-run games this year. They're 5-4. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here it comes. Fouls it back. A lot of foul balls. They are making Brady work. He's at 44 pitches with 1 out here in the second. Dahl stands very close to the plate from the left side of home plate, the right-handed batter. Asks for time. Drew Bradley's out at second. Slanina gets set to bring the 1-2. Here it comes. And that is lined just over the extended glove of Anthony Gonzalez. It gets into center field. Heading to third is Bradley. And Boyd has 5 hits here through an inning and a third. And they've got runners at the corners with 1 out for Cade Reagan.
I mean, it was a great effort to try and catch that ball. But it was
you almost couldn't tell from this angle. It looked like Ant-Man maybe have gotten it. But just maybe about an inch beyond the tip of the glove. Cade Reagan is 1 for 1. He's the guy that ended up with that ridiculous at bat that lasted, it seemed like about 5 minutes before ending with an RBI single. He's got another RBI opportunity. Reed Tebow goes out to have a word with Slanina. Home plate umpire out there as well, maybe making sure Brady's okay perhaps. Now Tebow will head back to the dish. Blue Hawks wearing their home white uniforms with Rock Hill in blue capital letters across the front. A 2-tone hat, black on the back, white on the front. Now Cade Reagan steps in. Slanina working from the stretch. That pitch count now at 45. First pitch squares to bunt and bunts it successfully. It's cut off by Slanina, and they've hung up Bradley between home and third. The throw to third is in time. So Bradley is tagged out. That will go 1-5. Heads up play there by Slanina to get the second out with the lead man. Brady was off the mound real quick to knock that down.
I mean, it was just great fielding by Brady there to get out, get the ball, and then make the move to not go to first and get the forced out, but instead try and get the lead runner out. And, I mean, he did just that. And it now leaves McKinney Boyd with a runner on second and first.
2 down, though, for Josh Blakeman. He doubled his last time. Ripped it down the right field line, and then it kicked off the bullpen gate. First pitch. Foul back.
Yeah, and Blakeman was strong in the game on Saturday, going 2 for 4 with an RBI and a double.
Unofficially, that is the 16th foul ball that we've seen in an inning and 2/3. No balls, 1 strike. Runners at first and second, 2 out. Here it comes. That is a pitch that gets past Tebow. He tried to backhand it. It allows both runners to move up. Dahl to third, Reagan to second. So now Brady's got to buckle down here as a base hit could score 2. Here's the 1-1. Popped up. Right side of the infield. Playable for Anthony Gonzalez. He parks under it, and he's got it. And the ball pops out of his glove. Ooh, boy, it might be that kind of night. Coming home to score is Dahl. can only assume it might have maybe hit the palm of the glove. That will be an error on Gonzalez, and it's 4-0. Make it 5-0 with 2 outs. Both came around to score.
Yeah, and something makes you want to believe that the wind had something to do with that. Is something I've learned is as the ball goes higher, the wind will change, and so it can either get faster, it could change directions, and it looked like Gonzalez having to move right with the wind, but it looks like it might have gone a little bit further right than what he was expecting.
First pitch to Joey Schwartz is out of play. It's 0-1, so Blue Hawks now trailing 5-0 here in the top of the second. 3 in the first, 2 in the second. Both those runs will be unearned. No balls, 1 strike. Blakeman at first. The pitch. Fastball high. 1-1. 51 pitches for Slonina.
Yeah, Joey Schwartz in the last game, he went 1 for 2 with an RBI and 2 walks. So he has a great vision, as we mentioned earlier.
Brady about to bring pitch number 52. It's the 1-1. Low and away. 2-1. Blakeman gets his lead over at first. Not getting too much attention from Slonina. Brady is focused on Joey Schwartz. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. The pitch. And that is lined down the right field line, but that will go foul. Schwartz looks down to the third base coach, gets some signals, see if they maybe try to get the runner going with 2 outs. Blue Hawks will have Tebow, McDaniel, and Stum up in the bottom of the second. They trail 5-0. Boyd looking for more. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch from Slonina is ripped foul. Third base line this time. Foul by a couple feet.
Yeah, I mean, it's been good contact from Joey here in these past 2, just keeping the at-bat alive, keeping the inning alive, trying to make sure that Rock Hill can't shut it down. But it's been a good fight for McKinney Boyd so far up at the plate in the top of the second.
We'll try the 2-2 again. Here it comes. And that is smoked right into the glove of Aiden McDaniel. He makes a big play to potentially rob Schwartz of extra bases. But another pair of runs come across for the Broncos. They score 2 runs on 2 hits and a Rock Hill error. They'll leave a man. And through an inning and a half, it's all Boyd early. They lead 5-0. This is Blue Hawk Baseball from Regency Sports.
I'm Rock Hill senior Brady Slonina. Baseball season is in full swing. Why not renew your home for the spring with custom shelving from Urban Farmhouse Group? The products can be found by searching Urban Farmhouse Group on Etsy.com. The Blue Hawks want to thank Urban Farmhouse Group for their support of the Rock Hill Baseball broadcast.
5-0. McKinney Boyd as we go to the bottom of the second. Broncos out hitting the Blue Hawks 5-1. Reed Tebow, Aiden McDaniel, and Trevor Stum will try to start chipping away at Cade Reagan's lead. They had a couple runners on with nobody out in the first. Ended up with a runner at third and 2 outs, but were not able to score. Blue Hawks have dropped 4 of their last 5, but if you take that 10-0 loss to Plano West out, 2-run loss to Plano West, 8-7 walk-off against Prosper, 3-2 walk-off against Boyd. Talk about those tiny little margins, and that's been the difference between a team that might be 6-3 right here and looking at potentially hoping Allen takes a loss or 2 to get into a district championship conversation. And, instead you're looking at going to have to do some work here to come back and avoid being in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, it's something that, this Rock Hill team has done so well when they're up to It's a bad, and you've mentioned it, a lot of the losses that they've taken have been so close. It's when you're down by a lot of points, when you're down by 5, sitting in this game, how do you manage it and not let it overwhelm you? And this Rock Hill team has done really well at just, okay, let's get a hit, and just taking it step by step and not letting it overwhelm you.
First pitch to Reed Tebow is a fastball strike at the knees, 0-1. Reed Tebow's been getting a lot of hits lately. He's got a 5-game hitting streak. He's probably the hottest hitter in this lineup right now, hitting .348. He's now 4th on the team in district average. Was 1 for 2 with an RBI on Saturday. The 0-1 is a breaking ball that drops in a little low, 1-1.
Yeah, and that RBI on Saturday just contributes to his 3 RBIs in 3 straight games that he's had.
Now 5 for the season. The 1-1. That misses wide, 2-1.
Yeah, and he's had 4 RBIs in the past 5 games, but he's hitting over his past 5 games at .533 on average. I mean, that is just incredible numbers by Reed Tebow.
Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball low, 3-1. Blue Hawks trying to get the leadoff man on for the second consecutive inning. Carson Roy reached on an error to start the first. Reagan's 3-1 pitch is stroked into short right field, but there's Bryce Dahl. He got a good jump on it. Tebow is retired to lead off the bottom of the second.
And it was just from Dahl. One, just really good fielding, getting over there just behind second plate. But also a really good reaction time. And the ball's coming at you that fast. If you don't move in the first couple tenths, it's going to get past you. And he did a great job there getting there for the Broncos.
Yeah, it almost looked like the exact same play as the first pitch. Swung on and missed. Aiden McDaniel's up there taking a big hack. McDaniel hitting .205. No home runs, but he's got 13 RBI. Looked very much like the play that ended up getting just past Gonzalez into center field in the top of the frame. The 0-1. Fastball. Strike called. 0-2. I'm doing battle with a mosquito on the scorebook here. No balls, 2 strikes. Quickly. Bases empty. 1 out. The pitch. Breaker in on the fist. Can't keep it fair as he rolls it over to Coach Yeary at third. Count stays 0-2. I'm losing to the mosquitoes right now. It's wasps or mosquitoes. One of the two. There's dead wasps all up here in the lighting units. Now, I'll take dead wasps anywhere. I'm fine with that. Here's the 0-2. Fastball wide. Didn't miss by much. Good eye by McDaniel, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch, check swing. They'll go down to first. And said he did not go. Good bat control there by Aiden. Up among the team's leaders in RBI with those 13. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch from Reagan is a fastball low. The count goes full.
So big at bat for McDaniels here. Full count with 1 out. And a team that needs to build a little bit momentum here to try and catch to the Broncos.
Here comes the payoff pitch. That is hit well to left. Aiden McDaniel will turn and trot around the bases. Aiden McDaniel has gone deep. His first of the year, his 14th RBI, and the Blue Hawks are on the board. It's 5-1 Boyd. Bradley gave it a look, but it wasn't much of one as that was tagged. Blue Hawks had not had a district home run prior to Saturday. They've now got him in back-to-back games. See if that gets the offense going.
And in a situation that big, I don't think there's anything better that you could have done. Aiden McDaniel, I mean, I would say that probably went, 360, 370?
Yeah. Yep. That was blitzed. Here's Trevor Stum. Hitting 200 in district. First pitch taken for a strike, 0-1.
Well, and earlier in the broadcast, I was going to ask you, with the wind moving that fast from right to left, how do you think it's going to affect the ball that's maybe hit over into left field? And I think we just found out.
0-1. Little bit low. 1-1. Not quite as much wind right now. I don't know that Aiden needed a lot of help as he turned on that pitch. Got out of here in a hurry. Here's the 1-1 inside. Trevor Stum, who, again, I think unofficially is the program's all-time leader in hit by pitches. Nearly took one there. Instead, it's ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Stum in on the fist. He checks the swing and tries to stay away from it, but ends up catching the bat and heading back toward us. Foul. It's 2-2. So the Blue Hawks get on the board on the McDaniel blast. Two balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. That is topped over to the shortstop. Blakeman will wait. His throw is on the money. And there are 2 outs here in the second. So Braxton Clyde will come to the plate. Hasn't had too many district at-bats. This will be just his 5th plate appearance in district. He is looking for his first hit. Clyde bats from the right side. First pitch is a slider that is a little bit wide, 1-0. Clyde waits on the 1-0 pitch. That's a fastball in on the hands, 2-0. Quickly back to work, the 2-0, and this is low and in, 3-0. Elijah Guevara would bat if Braxton is able to reach. The 3-0 pitch. That is a 4-pitch walk. Clyde trots to first. First walk for Reagan. And here's Elijah Guevara hitting 200 with no home runs and 5 RBI. Guevara did not have an at-bat on Saturday, the first pitch. This is a little bit low. 1-0 as the Reagan strike-to-ball ratio starts to get a little bit closer to 1-1. Blue Hawks had an opportunity in the first. They had runners at first and second with nobody out. Were not able to score, but Aiden McDaniel's solo homer here in the second has gotten them on the board as the 1-0 is lifted to center. Austin Aldridge pots it for the 3rd out, but the Blue Hawks do score on the McDaniel homer. We will go to the 3rd. McKinney Boyd leading the Blue Hawks 5-1. This is Blue Hawk baseball from Regency Sports.
This is senior Morgan Singleton from your Rock Hill Blue Hawks. Are you hungry for better meals without the hassle? Discover Wild Fork, your destination for chef-quality meats, seafood, and flavor-packed meal delivered frozen fresh to your door. From fresh, not frozen, premium steaks and seafood to ready-to-eat favorites. Wild Fork makes every meal unforgettable with variety as big as Texas. Visit the Wild Fork location in Prosper at Quake and 380 and taste the difference for yourself. Wild Fork, real food, real flavor, and real easy.
5-1 McKinney Boyd as we go to the 3rd. Brian Sutcliffe and Colton Boston here for the first of 2 games in 48 hours with the holiday weekend. It will be Thursday for the 2nd game of the week and rather than Friday as the Plano East Panthers come to the Hollow for the first of the 2-game series. The 2nd game will be out in East Plano next Tuesday. We'll have the pregame show starting at 7:20, right before the 7:30 first pitch. Cole Ashley, Graham Daniels, and Ty Cherry will see Brady Slanina for the 2nd time. Blue Hawks being out-hit 5-2 and outscored 5-1. Cole Ashley had a sack bunt his first time. First pitch from Slanina is a fastball strike called 0-1. Plano has scratched against Prosper. The Eagles leading 2-1 in the top of the fourth as they hit the middle innings out in Plano. Slanina's 0-1 pitch is lined this time. It stays down enough for Anthony Gonzalez to snare it. There's one out.
So quick out, putting this, this McKinney Boyd Broncos team that's been hot at the plate so far tonight, but a great play by Gonzalez to get over there, get the ball, get the quick out, and put the Broncos to a first stop pretty early with one out now.
Plano West is blasting McKinney 5-0 in the top of the fourth. First pitch, and that is lined to center. Going to be a tough play, but Carson Roy on his horse, way too much speed. Graham Daniels got a good piece of it, but against most center fielders, that is probably a gap double. But Roy is able to cut down the angle and put it away, and quickly there's two down. So it'll be up to Ty Cherry. First pitch to Cherry is a fastball strike, 0-1.
Yeah, and something I don't think we mentioned enough is Carson Roy's speed. When you look at his stat, that clearly says he's got 7 stolen bases on the season.
0-1, and Slanina quickly back to work. It's lined foul onto the top of the McKinney Boyd bullpen. It's quickly 0-2. Slanina would love a quick 1-2-3 here to keep that pitch count down. He's now at 60 pitches here in the third. No balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes, and he does just that. Blows the fastball past. Slanina means business in that third and sits the Broncos down in order for the first time. We will go to the bottom of the third. Blue Hawks needing runs. Chipped away with the McDaniel blast in the second. It's 5-1 McKinney Boyd. This is Blue Hawk Baseball from Regency Sports.
I'm Blue Hawk senior Braxton Clyde, telling you to step up to the plate, go big, or go home with my family company, Bullnose Masonry. At Bullnose Masonry, we build brick, block, stucco, and stone. From schools to hospitals standing tall, Bullnose Masonry builds it all. Bullnose Masonry is a proud supporter of Rock Hill Baseball.
Brady Slanina needed 33 pitches in the first, 22 pitches in the second, 6 in the third. That was just what the doctor ordered in seating the Broncos in order. The top of the Blue Hawk lineup will see Cade Reagan for the second time, Carson Roy, Ethan Kalanick, and Anthony Gonzalez. They're in the fourth inning at Allen. Allen leading Princeton 2-0. The Panthers hanging in there. If you recall, Princeton beat Allen last year. And as we said in the pregame, Princeton is 0-9 in district. They have 6 losses by 1 or 2 runs. So they have not been an easy out. The Blue Hawks had to walk them off here in the first game of that series a few weeks ago. Carson Roy's 0 for 1. He reached on an error and was stranded at third in the first.
And I think a big reason for that error from the third baseman, too, is we just mentioned it. It's just the speed of Carson Roy. When he was getting to the bag that fast, it forced the third baseman to make a move that he maybe wasn't fully ready and set for, and it caused that error and let Roy get on base.
First pitch to Carson is a middle fastball taken for a strike, 0-1. Carson with 16 RBI this year. Half of them have come with 2 outs, so he's had some clutch hits this season. The 0-1 is a breaking ball that Carson tried to hold up on, but definitely committed to the swing as he leans over across the plate and gets himself reset. It is quickly 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. That is a breaking ball, and Carson Roy has just gone deep on an 0-2 pitch. Well, we said there might be a couple get out of here. The Blue Hawks have 2 in the last 2 innings. Carson Roy's 4th home run of the year, his 17th RBI. It's 5-2 Boyd.
So 2 innings and 2 solo home runs for the Blue Hawks. Roy with his 4th home run of the season. and that is 3 home runs in 2 games for the Blue Hawks.
Yep, first 8 games of district, the Hill didn't have a district homer. Here's Ethan Kalanick. He is 1 for 1. He singled his first time. Takes a pitch for a strike. It is 0-1. So Blue Hawks with 3 hits and 2 have left the yard. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Low and away. 1-1.
Kalanick up to bat. He bats with a .350 average on the year.
1 ball and 1 strike. Kalanick holds that bat very high. The pitch. That is lined into center. That will get down. Ethan Kalanick is 2 for 2. Here comes the Hill.
Up next to your Rock Hill Blue Hawks, number 7, Anthony Gonzalez.
AG is 0 for 1, grounded out to second his first time up. And we'll see if Coach Stanton wants to see if Kalanick can get into scoring position without having to ask Gonzalez to give himself up. AG takes the first pitch for a called strike, 0-1.
Yeah, and Gonzalez bats this year with a .385 batting average. He's got 20 hits with 3 doubles.
No balls, 1 strike. Here it comes. And that is laced the other way down the left field line, just foul. John Urey out there in the third base coaching box was trying to will it to stay fair, but it's almost like he had no control over the ball. I don't know. He's going to have to work on that.
Maybe something he can look at practice on.
Yeah, practice controlling the ball in mid-flight.
Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes, runner at first. A throw over, and leaning the wrong way was Kalanick. The ball is thrown off the chest of the first baseman, Ashley, and that enables Kalanick to slide headfirst into second, safe. So it'll be in a stolen base. $11 for 11 now is Kalanick. He looked like he was dead to rights on the pickoff, but the throw was low, and Cole Ashley had to block it to keep it in front of him. Still 0-2 to Gonzalez. The pitch way inside to hit him on the leg. That's as way inside as you can get. So Brady Slanina will bat as the tying run on a night where 2 balls have already gotten out of here. Brady had a bomb on Saturday. This would be a fantastic time for his second in as many games. Kalanick at second, Anthony Gonzalez at first. Brady struck out swinging his first time. And Brooke Court's going to come out to have a conversation with Cade Reagan.
Yeah, I mean, over the past 2 innings, it has been an incredible showing from the Blue Hawks. Trailing the Broncos this game, not letting it get to them too much as they turned a game where they were trailing by 3, and then the next inning trailing by 5. They're able to respond with not only 1 home run, but 2, and they bring it to a 3-run game where the Broncos are leading 5-2 against the Blue Hawks, but runners on first and second, and Brady Slanina, who had a home run in his last game, and that was out to left field. And that's where both of them today has been hit.
And both of those home runs tonight were hit with 2 strikes. So really big time at bats from McDaniel and Roy, as well as Kalanick and Gonzalez, who have reached here as well. There's nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Rock Hill trails 5-2, but Brady Slanina bats as the tying run. Runners get their leads from first and second. Reagan turns and looks Kalanick back to the bag. I don't think there's many guys in this lineup that Sean Stanton would not ask to bunt with runners at first and second, nobody out. I think Slanina might be one of them. We shall see. Here's the first pitch. Bounces in, blocked nicely by Schwartz, 1-0. Reed Tebow on deck. 5-2 Boyd, bottom 3. Broncos with 3 in the first, 2 in the second. A pair of solo homers One in the second, one in the third have pulled the Blue Hawks to within 3. Here's the pitch. Breaker that I think Brady was content to let it hit him, but it ducked in just at the last minute, but still inside. And it is a hitter's count. 2 balls, no strikes to Slonina. Reagan waits. And he will look Kalanick back into second once again.
I mean, if I'm Reagan and I'm looking at who's at bat and who's on deck, not sure if I'm the most confident. I mean, you have Slonina, who homered in his last game, and Tebow, who is probably one of the hottest hitters on the team right now.
The 2-0 pitch. Breaker, and good pitch as it was a string pulling. Slonina was coming out of his shoes on that swing. Comes up empty. It's 2-1. Reagan ready to get back to work. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fouled away. So Reagan comes back to even the count against Brady Slonina. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is the second multi-home run game the Blue Hawks have this year. They did it in their first win against the Frisco Raccoons in tournament play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 on, nobody out. Throw to second this time, but not much of a play. Kalanick does dive back in, but in plenty of time. Reagan's pitch count's getting up. This will be pitch number 51. Here comes the 2-2. Got him looking. That was a tough breaking pitch that hit right at the knees. Slonina is the first out. Kalanick back to second. Gonzalez to first for Reed Tebow.
Up next for your Rock Hill Blue Hawks. Number 14.
Tebow lined out to second his first time up.
Yeah, and Tebow's currently on a 5-game hitting streak. He bats in district play with a .350 batting average, and he's batting with a .533 over the past 5.
First pitch just misses, scraping the jersey. Ball 1 inside.
Tebow's also got 4 RBIs in the past 5 games as well.
You'd love to see him put one in the gap here. Lots of speed. You could put one in the gap. Both guys could score. The 1-0 pitch. That's popped up. Right side of the infield. Bryce Dahl fighting off the lights. Squeezes it. And there's 2 outs.
Up next for your Rock Hill Blue Hawks. Number 3, Aiden McDaniel.
It'll be up to Aiden McDaniel. If he can do what he did last time up, we'll have a tie ball game. He hit his first home run of the year, a no-doubter to left. On a full count pitch. Kalanick at second, Gonzalez at first. 2 down.
Yeah, and when you're in a full count pitch like that and you hit a home run, it's going to build confidence you as a batter. So 2 outs, base runners on first and second, high stress situation. How does that confidence manage here in this at-bat?
Here's the first pitch to Aiden. That is a bouncer that is off the leg guard of Joey Schwartz. Both runners advance easily. It's 1-0. That's a wild pitch.
Schwartz did a good job there once he got past them to getting back to the ball there and making sure that no one from Rock Hill thought about going back to home.
So it's Kalanick at third, Gonzalez at second. 1 ball, no strikes to McDaniel. The pitch. Watches it all the way in, misses low, 2-0. Big moment here in the third. There's been a lot of action in this ball game. The teams have combined for 9 hits and 7 runs. Boyd leaves 5-2. Blue Hawks have runners at second and third with 2 outs. 2 balls, no strikes to McDaniel, who homered his last time up. The pitch. That is hit just outside the bag and foul. It was knocked down nicely by Carson Wade, but it's just strike 1. So McDaniel will take a long stroll back, picks up the lumber. Inning started with Carson Roy's 4th home run of the year. Next 2 guys reached, but they're still out there on the base paths with 2 down. Kalanick at third, Gonzalez at second. The 2-1 pitch. Good breaking ball, just missed a little bit wide. 3-1. Trevor Stum on deck. Hitters count. Will Reagan challenge McDaniel, who's already gone deep on him once before? The 3-1. He doesn't. He pulls the string, but it's a called strike. Great pitch from Reagan. Fills the count.
So the second at-bat in a row for McDaniels with a full count situation. Last time he produced a home run deep into left field.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The payoff pitch that is lifted in the air to right. Coming on is Graham Daniels. He's got it lined up, and he has it with one hand. The Blue Hawks strand their 3rd and 4th base runners, both in scoring position. But another run crosses on the Carson Roy solo blast. We go to the middle innings. After 3, it's Boyd leading Rock Hill 5-2. This is Blue Hawk Baseball from Regency Sports.
This is Senior Blue Hawk Carson Cooley. First Graphic Services is a Prosper ISD family-owned sign and graphics company that has been providing graphic solutions for over 30 years to the North Texas area. They specialize in signs for home builders, developers, political candidates, school districts, realtors, as well as many other local businesses. Check them out on social media or hit them up on their website at www.firstgraphicservices.com.
Brian Sutcliffe and Colton Boston here at the Hollow of Rock Hill, where the McKinney-Boyd Broncos lead the Rock Hill Blue Hawks 5-2 in a massive affair in the 6-6A table. Brady Slanina at 61 pitches, but he needed only 6 to get through a scoreless third. The first inning that Boyd has been turned away without runs. Reed Tebow fires down to second. It will be the 9-1-2 hitters, Wade, Bradley, and Dahl against Slanina. And if Brady can have another quick 1-2-3, he could sort of get back on pace in terms of the pitch count. Wade is 0 for 1. He lined out to right his first time up. First pitch from Brady Slanina is a high fastball that is turned and chopped foul down the third baseline. No balls and 1 strike. Prosper now up 4-1 on Plano.
And against Rock Hill this season so far, Wade is currently 0-3, not recording a hit in last game or this one.
A 1-pitch fastball that is stroked, backhanded by Lucas Bell. Going to be a tough play. It's a long throw. It pulls Trevor Stum off the bag. I'm not sure it would have been in time anyway. We'll give Carson Wade an infield single. Drew Bradley's reached in both plate appearances. He reached in the first and scored after on the first pitch of the ballgame was awarded first on what we imagine was catcher's interference. Then he doubled and ended up being thrown out between third and home in the second. First pitch squaring to bunt, popping the bunt up. Slanina with a tough play. He's over to first, not in time. So the Broncos with the first 2 men on 2 balls that don't get out of the infield.
Yeah, and it looked like both Brady and Tebow went out there both trying to get it fielded to first, and a little bit of confusion there. It could cost some extra time, and I think that's exactly what happened there.
Bryce Dahl is 2 for 2 with 2 singles and 2 runs scored. The top part of the lineup has just demolished the Blue Hawks in this game. Slanina spins and fires to second. Back in with a dive is Wade. The top 4 guys in the lineup right now are 6 for 8. with 3 RBI, and it looks like Wade is down on the ground. You hope it might just be maybe an incident with getting a finger jammed or something like that. Those could be tough going head first back into the bag. We hope he is okay. Trainers from both teams out to make sure Mr. Wade is all right. After this series, the Blue Hawks will have only 3 series to go in district.
So as we hope is Wade is okay, Brian, over the years that you've been covering baseball, what safety changes have you seen, over time to make sure that these players stay safe while they're out here playing and trying to make names for themselves?
Well, certainly the safety bags over at first, which I think this is the first year we've seen that here as Wade is back on his feet. Certainly glad to see that. You're starting to see more players. I think Boyd actually has a guy that's wearing one of the grills in front, one of the face protectors, face guards. You certainly see that in softball pretty much with every player. You're starting to see it more in baseball as well. Anything you can do to avoid unnecessary injury, you definitely want to do. Slonina takes a couple of warm-up tosses as Wade is back on his feet. He's going to stay in the game. It will be Plano East coming here for Game 1 on Thursday, and then we'll head out to East Plano for the return trip on Tuesday. Then it will be a series with Plano, and then the Blue Hawks have their bye week at darn near the end of the season, as they'll have a week off before they end up finishing the year against McKinney. Trevor Stum is standing 45 feet away from the plate. Bryce Dahl pops the bunt back toward us into the screen. It's 0-1. There is nobody out here in the top of the 4th. Runners at first and second. Boyd leading 5-2 and looking for more. McDaniel in about a step inside the bag over at third. It's Stum that's almost standing on top of Bryce Dahl as he takes the pitch high, 1-1.
So Rock Hill's got a chance here if they can shut out McKinney Boyd in this inning to kind of stop a trend of where when Rock Hill scores, the other team comes back and responds. They have a chance to stop it here.
It's happened a lot all season long. They just have not been able to get that shutdown inning. They did get it in the 3rd after the McDaniel blast. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dahl is already squared to bunt. Now he pulls it back and swings away. Fastball cut on and missed. And I think Trevor Stum's jumping up a little bit because that is not a place you want to be if a guy is up there swinging away about 45 to 50 feet from the plate. And now he retreats all the way back beyond first, so he'll return to his normal position with 2 strikes. Dahl not able to lay the bunt down. Again, 2 hits here in the inning. Neither ball left the infield. This will be pitch number 68 for Brady Slonina. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here it comes. High fastball, 2-2. 68 pitches, 49 strikes. A lot of those have been fouls. It has been tough at bat after tough at bat from this Bronco offense. Wade gets his lead from second, Bradley from first. Time is granted at the plate. Plano West destroying McKinney, leading 8-0. West about to go to 8-2 in district. 2 balls, 2 strikes to pitch. Foul back. Slonina tried to get the fastball past him. Slanina's got a new ball. He's ready for Bryce Dahl to reload. Now he's back in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. Top 4, 5-2 Boyd. Slanina brings the 2-2. Very high. Over the head of Dahl, but it's fielded by Tebow, and the count goes full.
Full count, no outs. Runners on first and second for the Broncos, coming off of a scoreless inning in the third, but scoring 5 in the first 2.
Three balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch. That is lined into short center. That'll get down. Station to station we go as Kalanick comes up with it quickly. It's the 8th hit of the contest. Bryce Dahl is 3 for 3, and the bases are loaded with nobody out for Cade Reagan. He'll bat for the 3rd time with runners on base. I mean, it's just as you go through here and look, the Broncos have 8 hits, and how many balls have they hit hard? Not many. They are finding holes. Slanina returns to the full windup. Cade Reagan is 1 for 2. He already has an RBI. First pitch from Brady. Breaking ball high, 1-0.
So this is a big-time moment for Rock Hill defense to try and shut down the Broncos in such an important district game, trailing by 3 with bases full, no outs. How do they manage this?
Here's the 1-0. Fastball wide, 2-0. The Blue Hawks would gladly trade a run for a double play. The 2-0 pitch. There's a fastball for a strike on the outside edge. 2-1. Slanina placed that well. Runners at every base. Nobody out. Here's the 2-1. That is lofted to second. It'll be infield fly, so the play will be dead. A massive first out.
I mean, this is the Rock Hill team where we've seen time and time again throughout the season that they're in a big defensive situation. They can shut it down and they can kill any type of offense that the other team has, and this could be a moment where we see that again from the Blue Hawks.
Yeah, it happened in the game at Prosper. Had the bases loaded with nobody out with the winning run at third, and the Blue Hawks were able to get out of it. Here's Josh Blakeman. He's 1 for 2. First pitch. Strike called, 0-1. A pivotal moment here at near the halfway point of this baseball game. Blue Hawks have a couple of solo homers to turn a 5-0 deficit to 5-2, trying to stay within arm's length. The 0-1 check swing. They will appeal to the field ump, who is in no position to try to opine over whether that went around, because, again, you only have one field ump during the regular season, so the guy standing out between second and third. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here it comes. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Blakeman doubled to right for 2 RBIs his first time up. Reached on an error in the second. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch from Slanina. Low and away, blocked by Tebow with the backhand. It is 2-2. Wade at third, Bradley at second, Dahl at first. There's 1 out. Pitch number 80 will come with 2 balls and 2 strikes. Slanina fires. Fastball high. It's 3-2.
Yeah, Blakeman's not only been strong this game, but in the last game against Rock Hill, he went 2 for 4 with an RBI and a double.
No place to put him. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch. Ball 4. Missed outside. It is 6-2 Boyd. That is the second run in this series that's been walked in by Blue Hawk pitching, and there is activity in the Blue Hawk bullpen as Slanina is now at 81 pitches. So Boyd has plated runs in 3 of the 4 innings, and they are not done. The bases are still loaded, just 1 out for Joey Schwartz. He is 0 for 1 with a walk and a line out. First pitch is a low fastball. Nope, right at the knees, 0-1.
Joey went 1 for 2 in the last game with a double and an RBI.
Slanina's 0-1 pitch is on the way. That's a fastball, pumped in, strike 2. Now it's Bradley at third, Dahl at second, Blakeman at first. The no ball, 2-strike pitch. Got him swinging. Nope. He fouled it at the plate. So Schwartz barely stays alive. Blakeman now with 3 RBI in a 6-2 Boyd lead. We'll try the 0-2 once more. Here it comes. That is stroked to left, but right at the left fielder, Elijah Guevara. Tagging at third is Drew Bradley. The throw will be cut off. And Boyd has their 5-run lead back. It is 7-2.
Cole Ashley now up to bat. In the last series, he was 1 for 3.
He's 0 for 1 tonight. Lined out to Anthony Gonzalez at second, his last time up. First pitch from Slanina. That is hit on 1 hop over to Aiden McDaniel. He'll get up off 1 knee and take it to third for the unassisted putout, but another couple runs for Boyd. They score 2 on 3 hits. They leave 2, and we will go to the bottom of the 4th. Blue Hawks got to get it back. They trail 7-2. This is Blue Hawk Baseball from Regency Sports.
Attention North Texas ball players, this is senior Cole Carroll. Step up your game with the NTX Tribe Baseball Club. They offer elite baseball and softball training, top facilities, and a winning brotherhood for players of all ages. Join the NTX Tribe today and take your skills to the next level. Visit ntxtribebaseball.com. NTX Tribe Baseball, where champions are made.
Trevor Stum, Braxton Clyde, Elijah Guevara scheduled to face Cade Reagan. Looking up at a 7-2 deficit. Boyd has out-hit the Blue Hawks 8-4. 2 of the 4 Blue Hawk hits have left the yard. Solo home runs by Aiden McDaniel and Carson Roy. I was told that Carson Roy earlier this week, it was earlier this week or it was earlier today, I think it was earlier this week, Coach Stanton told me he put one off the top of the softball batting cages, which is a long way out there. That is a long home run.
So, Brian, we've seen today that the Blue Hawks have no issue getting these out of the park. But what do you think maybe needs to change or shift to help Rock Hill kind of come back at this 5-run deficit that they have right now going into the bottom of the 4th?
I think they got to manufacture a little bit. Yeah, they got to put some pressure on this defense. We have seen a couple plays not made by the Bronco infield in the game. The Blue Hawks have had opportunities. They've left 4 on. That is not Trevor Stum. That is Grayson Richards. So Richards will hit for Stum, and I would expect he'll stay at first base as Richards has played a mean first this year. Richards hitting 167 with no home runs and 1 RBI. The first pitch misses a little wide, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That's a fastball on the inside edge. 1 ball, 1 strike. One to Grayson. Fastball low, 2-1. We're We're in the bottom of the fourth. We're at an hour and 30 minutes. We were in the seventh inning at this point on Saturday. That game moves so fast. Here's the 2-1. Fastball was put exactly where Joey Schwartz wanted it, but what he wanted it was about 6 inches off the plate. It is 3-1. The 3-1 pitch just catches the outer half. Richards thought maybe I'll kind of start to toss my bat and see if I convince the home plate ump. That was on the ball side of the 50-50 call. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here it comes. That is hit the other way, but foul by about a foot.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe both times that we've had the leadoff hitter with 2 strikes this game for the Blue Hawks, other than the first inning, it's been a home run.
Well, McDaniel was the second hitter up, but pretty close to 3-2. That is lifted into foul territory on the left side. It stays in the park, but Drew Bradley not able to get there in time. Count will stay 3-2. But yeah, there's been nothing the Blue Hawks have been afraid of in terms of 2-strike approach here in this game. Both long balls did come with 2 strikes. Or excuse me, the Carson Roy. Yeah, that was with 2 strikes. That was an 0-2 pitch. We'll try the payoff pitch again. Here it comes. That is lifted out of play on the left side. So tough at bat here for Richards, as he will see at least 9 pitches. This will be pitch 68 for Cade Reagan. The righty delivers, and that is line into left field. It will get down. Nice at bat for Grayson Richards to lead things off here in the fourth. You love that approach from the left-handed hitter. Just not trying to do too much with it. Just poke it out there. Here's Braxton Clyde. He walked on 4 pitches. His first time. That is Reagan's only walk issued of the game. First pitch to Braxton, hits him in the arm. So Clyde hasn't seen a strike. He's seen 4 balls and a pitch to the upper arm. And here we go. The Blue Hawks are in business. Nobody out here in the fourth. They trail 7-2. They've got runners at first and second with nobody out for Elijah Guevara.
Number 13, Elijah Guevara.
Guevara flied out to center field his first time up. Carson Roy on deck.
Guevara with a runner on second. He bats overall in the season with a runner in scoring position with a .312.
First pitch, and that hits him in the back. So Reagan running into some control problems, as the last 2 have found Rock Hill batters. And Carson Roy, who hit one that hasn't landed yet his last time up, bats with the bases loaded and nobody out.
Up next for your Rock Hill Blue Hawks, number 1, Carson Roy.
A big opportunity for the Blue Hawks, who could use a big inning. They trail 7-2, but they have had no shortage of opportunities in the game against Cade Reagan. And I think Reagan is leaving the ball game. Brooke Court is not messing around. He understands the importance of this game. Boyd, if they can win this game tonight, would essentially be 3 games ahead of Rock Hill with the tiebreak after a sweep. So you could almost call it 4 games with 6 to play. So we will see where guys start running around here, as it looks like, is that I think Carson Wade is heading out to right, maybe? We'll see. We'll wait to see a number on the new pitcher. It looks like we've got a southpaw on the mound. Is that number 13? I don't know. I saw a 3 on the back of that jersey, I think.
I think that is Kyler Wolf. That is either a 13
All right, you young eyes have got to help me out here. Let's see. We think it's one of a couple guys, but, you know, maybe we'll use our trusty. That the first digit is a 1. I can say that conclusively. I think that's number 13. I believe it is Kyler Wolf. Yeah, there we go. We figured it out. You're not getting anything past us up here. Whose number is that? What is it? I don't understand. I think Carson Wolf is now in center. We'll have to see. The Broncos have moved guys all over the place. Their uniforms are slick, but you can't really read the numbers all that well. They wear navy jerseys with gray pants and red letters and numbers. So Kyler Wolf will face Carson Roy, who is 1 for 2. He reached on an error and was stranded at third in the first. Hit a solo homer on an 0-2 pitch in the third. And there's no place to put him. Richards at third, Clyde at second, Guevara at first. First pitch, fastball, a little high. Oh, it's 1-0.
Yeah, and I think when you talk about game-deciding moments, this could be an inning that you could mention with a 5-run deficit, but bases loaded for the Blue Hawks.
The 1-0 pitch, outside, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes as we'll continue to try to figure out where Broncos are situated in the defense at this point. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. That is a fastball low, 3-0. And we'll see if Coach Stanton opts to give his guy the green light with a 3-0 here. I'm not sure you'll see that as Wolf looks a little bit erratic here, fresh into the game. The 3-0, and it's ball 4. Carson Roy has 2 RBI. This one brings home Grayson Richards. The bases loaded walk makes it 7-3 Boyd. And now Ethan Kalanick bats as the tying run. The teams have combined for 13 hits. Boyd leads 7-3. Ethan Kalanick's 2 for 2. He's singled in both plate appearances. He has 2 of the 5 hits. First pitch, that is hit well to left. Kalanick will turn. Kalanick will watch it get out of here. A grand slam for Ethan Kalanick, and we're tied at 7. Ethan Kalanick picked a great night to probably have the best night of his career. He is 3 for 3 with a homer and 4 RBI, and it's a brand new ball game. We're tied at 7 in the 4th.
Kalanick's first home run on the year, and I don't think it can get any better than that. Tying up a game 7-7 and a grand slam nonetheless.
The Blue Hawks have 3 bombs in 4 innings, and there's still nobody out. Anthony Gonzalez is 0 for 1. First pitch misses low and away, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball on the outer half, 1-1. Cade Reagan had pitched reasonably well through 3+ innings. He is lifted, and it is now a tie ball game. The pitch that is lifted out of play on the left side, it is 1-2.
I mean,
Boyd with 3 runs in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the fourth. The Blue Hawks, a run in the second, a run in the third, 5 in the fourth. They have 6 runs that have scored on homers and a bases-loaded walk. Here's the 1-2, and that is hit through the box, but Kyler Wolf will snag it, take it almost all the way to first himself before underhanding to Cole Ashley. And finally, for the Broncos, there's 1 out here in the 4th.
I mean, in a game where the Blue Hawks trailed by 5 to the Broncos twice It's now tied up off a grand slam. I mean,
And that's what we talked about earlier. You knew this team wasn't out of it by any stretch. You're down 5 runs, no big deal. You know, it's an offense that's been finding its way as we've headed into this latter half of district. Brady Slanina is 0 for 2. He's due. He's got a couple of strikeouts. The first pitch that is hit on the right side. Bryce Dahl takes it on a couple of little hops. Sidearm toss. And there are 2 outs here in the 4th.
Up next for your Rock Hill Blue Hawks, number 14, Reed Tebow.
Ethan Kalanick came into this game with a .500 average in batting average on balls in play. We'll tell you about that here in a second. Here's the first pitch to Reed Tebow. It's outside. It's 1-0. It basically says when you put it into play, what happens? And when Ethan Kalanick puts it into play, half the time it ends up a base hit. Well, he put that one onto the concrete out beyond the left field fence. The 1-0 is fouled back into the screen, 1-1.
I mean, not only is Kalanick 3 for 3 with a grand slam tonight, but it's also one of the most important district games in the season for the Blue Hawks.
Yeah, that's the biggest swing of the bat of the season so far. There's no question about it. The 1-1, fastball high. And again, you know, you don't want to overstate it. If the Blue Hawks don't win this game, they're not anywhere close to eliminated by any stretch. But you figure you probably need to be 10-6 in this district to feel good about your chances to make the playoffs. Well, that means the Blue Hawks have to win out to get to 10-6. Here's the 2-1 to Tebow as a fastball bounced in, 3-1. So to put a swing like that on it in a 4-run ball game, in a game your team, again, you don't want to say must win, but really needs to win, that is definitely the swing of the year. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs to Tebow. The pitch taken all the way. Strike called, 3-2. Aiden McDaniel is on deck. He is one of the 3 members of the bomb squad here tonight. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch lays off, ball 4. Great at bat from Tebow. He's on first base as the go-ahead run here in the 4th. And we will see a runner. It'll be Morgan Singleton.
Rock Hill Blue Hawks, number 3, Aiden McDaniel.
And when you have a guy like Reed Tebow up to bat where he's been hitting over 500 his past 5 games, I think it's so easy to take that confidence and swing at a ball that might not look the best, but, I mean, Tebow doing an incredible job at the plate, keeping this inning going and drawing out this inning for the Blue Hawks as Aiden McDaniel's up to bat.
He is 1 for 2 with a homer. First pitch drops in at the knees for a strike, 0-1.
Off that sentence is number 2, Morgan Singleton.
Singleton with loads of speed to burn over at first. He represents the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 4th. There have only been 2 half innings in this game without runs scored. A little throw over from Wolf sends Singleton back in on his tummy. The teams have combined to score 7 runs here in the 4th. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. There goes Singleton. And the ball gets away from Cole Ashley, and it's going to run for a while. Ashley throws his hands up and says, hey, I can't get to it. So Singleton ends up at third. That will be an error on the pitcher. So now Morgan Singleton, the go-ahead run, stands at third base with 2 outs. If you're just now joining us, where have you been? Blue Hawks trailed 5-0. They trailed 7-2. They've scored 5 here in the inning to tie it at 7. Here's the 0-1. Fastball, high and away, 1-1. McDaniel is the 9th man to bat in the inning. Go-ahead run at third. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. The pitch inside, blocked by Schwartz.
So I believe,
with Singleton's speed, anything that gets past Schwartz will give the Blue Hawks the lead.
I believe that was Singleton's 12th stolen base of the season and 4th in district play.
2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Inside again, 3-1. Grayson Richards is on deck. He'd bat for the second time this inning. The Blue Hawks have scored 5 runs on 2 hits. The big one, the Ethan Kalanick grand slam. 3 balls, 1 strike. Hitters count. Here it comes. Popped up. Right side of the infield. Cole Ashley battling the wind, and he squeezes it. The go-ahead run is stranded at third, but the Blue Hawks send 9 to the plate, 5 score. We go to inning number 5. It's a new ball game. We're tied at 7. This is Blue Hawk baseball from Regency Sports.
Attention fans, this is Blue Hawk senior Aiden McDaniel. Whether you're training, tailgating, or cheering from the stands, Shields in the Colony has you covered. With the best selection of sporting goods, footwear, fan gear, and more, all under one roof. Shields is your go-to destination for every adventure. Plus, don't miss the unforgettable in-store experience at the Shields in the Colony. Europe with Shields, proud supporter of Rocket Baseball.
And the night is over for Brady Slanina as Trevor Stum will come into the ballgame. We'll give you the numbers on Brady Slanina. He throws 86 pitches, 60 strikes in 4 innings, allows 7 runs, 4 earned on 8 hits. He struck out 2 and walked 2. So Trevor Stum will relieve Slanina. This will be his 7th appearance. Second in relief. He is 0-1 with an 8.14 ERA in 16 1/3 innings. He's allowed 22 runs, 19 earned on 20 hits. He has struck out 13 and walked 18. He's allowed an opposing batting average of 288. And he is now given the keys to this incredibly important game. It's a battle of the bullpens.
Yeah, this is a completely new game than how it started. The game started with the Broncos taking a 5-run lead twice over Rock Hill, but now both pitchers have been substituted out, and this game is tied. So, you know, if I'm a player, if I'm a coach, I'm always having to view this game as a completely separate game than how it started with 3 innings left.
Graham Daniels is 0 for 2. He'll be followed by Ty Cherry and Carson Wade. Brady Slanina now over at first with Stum on the mound. The first pitch is a fastball, a little high, ball 1. Stum, the righty, brings the 1-0. That's high, 2-0. Can the Blue Hawks get that shutdown inning? You just scored 5 runs to tie it.
Well, they've shut down the Broncos once tonight as well in the 3rd.
The 2-0 pitch, way outside, 3-0.
Daniels on Saturday was 1 for 3.
Stum behind in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. The righty kicks and deals. There, he gets the fastball over. 3-1. Stum trying to come back to record a big first out. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. That is high, ball 4. Go-ahead runs at first with nobody out in the 5th. We are tied at 7. 7 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, 5 left for Boyd. 7 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, 5 left for the Blue Hawks. And the teams have gotten to this place in very different ways. For Boyd, it's been a lot of dink and dunk. For the Blue Hawks, it's been blasts. Cherry is 0 for 2. Squares to bunt. Fastball wide, 1-0.
Yeah, and I think that's just – I think the difference in how these teams are scoring is it's going to be what's going to make this game either a win or a lose for either team, as Boyd has been really consistent in just getting contact with the ball, but Rock Hill has been super consistent with big hits here in this game.
Daniels at first. He is the go-ahead run. Here's the pitch. Way outside, 2-0. Cherry's trying to give himself up, and here comes Sean Stanton. A slow walk to the mound. Trevor Stum on in relief of Brady Slanina. We'll take a look around the scoreboard here as Plano West is all over McKinney, 8-0 in the top of the 7th. So West about to move to 8-2 in district, and I would say stopping just short of penciling their name in as one of the 4 playoff teams, along with the Allen Eagles, who are also up 8-0 on Princeton. That leaves the Prosper Plano game as the one to check in on, and it's Prosper leading Plano 4-1. As they go to the bottom of the 7th. 2 balls, no strikes after the conversation. Here comes Aiden McDaniel charging in from third as the pitch is high, ball 3. Eight pitches for Stum in the early going, 7 balls. 3 balls, no strikes. Here comes the 3-0. And it's ball 4, missed low and away. So the first 2 have reached on free passes. Go-ahead run moves into scoring position. Nobody out. Here's Carson Wade.
And I'm almost getting flashbacks of early in the season when walks were such a key point for Rock Hill and some of the tough losses at the start of the season. In a game this close, 2 free passes, I'm just wanting to see how Rock Hill can come back with this and try and recover.
First pitch to Wade. That's thrown in the zone, and it's bunted foul. Graham Daniels at second. He's the go-ahead run. Ty Cherry behind him at first. We're in the top of the 5th, tied at 7. Stum working out of the stretch. Wade is already squared again. Here's the 0-1. That's in on the fists, and it is fouled straight down, 0-2. Boyd has not had a lot of success tonight laying bunts down. Carson Wade gets his instructions from the third base coach. And now he reloads. No balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes from Stum. Breaking ball. That is popped weakly out to short. Lucas Bell has got it. Quick throw to second. Huge first out for Stum. Big pitch.
So runners on first and second, and getting that first out in a game just, it tied up right here.
Well, and you needed that in a big way because now you go back to the top of the order. And the first 4 or 5 guys in this lineup have just ravaged the Blue Hawks in this game. It starts with Drew Bradley. He's reached in all 3 plate appearances. He is 2 for 2 with a double. He's scored 2 runs. Daniels at second. Ty Cherry at first. Stum will turn and look Daniels back into the second base bag. Yep, at this time on Saturday, the game was over. Boyd had won 3-2 on a bases-loaded walk in the bottom of the 7th. They have 2 guys on via walks here in a tie game in the 5th. First pitch, breaking ball, a good one, catches the inside edge. Probably the best pitch Stum has thrown thus far. It's 0-1. It's Guevara, Roy, and Kalanick in the outfield from left to right. McDaniel, Bell, Gonzalez, and Slanina around the horn from third to first. Reed Tebow behind the plate. Trevor Stum, the second Blue Hawk pitcher, gets set to bring the 0-1. It's on its way. It's a fastball low, but blocked by Tebow. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, and something that, I don't think we've seen many from Tebow is when a pitch gets down into the dirt, or I guess turf in this situation, he hasn't let many through, and it's just consistency from Tebow that has really impressed me this season with his blocking.
1 ball, 1 strike. Stum turns and looks. Daniels back again. Getting a lot of attention as the go-ahead run. Boyd led the game 5-0 after an inning and a half. Solo home runs by Aiden McDaniel and Carson Roy made it 5-2. Boyd played it 2 in the 4th to make it 7-2 before the Blue Hawks tied it with 5 in the bottom of the 4th. The 1-1, there goes both runners. The pitch is a strike. The throw to third is not in time. Both runners steal. It was a bang-bang play. The count goes to 1-2. So now 2 runners in scoring position. Infield defense in their normal positions. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Breaking ball got him swinging. Massive pitch from Stum, a huge second out.
Just a massive second out there for Trevor Stum as both base runners advancing to third and second from first and second, and now it's a 2-out game with 2 runners in scoring positions with Graham Daniels on third as the go-ahead run for the Broncos.
And here's Bryce Dahl. He is 3 for 3. 3 singles. He scored 2 runs. Runners at second and third, now 2 outs. First pitch from Stum is low and away. Backhanded by Tebow, 1-0. Blue Hawks looking to hold Boyd scoreless for just the second time tonight. Here's the 1-0. Popped up. Short right field. Anthony Gonzalez puts this one away. And Boyd strands their 6th and 7th base runners. The go-ahead run at third. Big pitching from Trevor Stum. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Blue Hawks come to the dish looking to take the lead. It's tied at 7. This is Blue Hawk Baseball from Regency Sports.
Hey there, folks. This is Rock Hill Senior Trevor Stum telling you about a company that's family-owned, tail-approved, clean cars, wagging dogs. That's the Scooters way. Go see them in McKinney at 12041 West University Drive. The team at Scooters says go Blue Hawks.
Grayson Richards, Braxton Clyde, and Elijah Guevara, the scheduled hitters as we move to the bottom of the 5th. Trevor Stum comes in and gets the shutdown inning after the Blue Hawks scored 5 in the bottom of the 4th to turn a 7-2 deficit into a 7-7 tie. And Trevor Stum is going to return to the lineup in Grayson Richards' spot.
So going into this game, we knew it was going to be one that was super important for Rock Hill and for Boyd and for the playoff hopes for Rock Hill. And, you know, like we've said, 10-6 is the golden number to make it comfortably into the playoffs. And, I mean, I don't think you could think of as a high school baseball fan, I don't think you can think of anything better than you have 2.5 innings in a game that is 7-7 with a comeback for Rock Hill.
Up next for your Rock Hill Blue Hawks, number 8, Trevor Stum.
Stum grounded out in his first plate appearance. to the shortstop. Then Grayson Richards hit for him in the last inning, and he takes the first pitch for a called strike, 0-1. Richards was 1 for 1 as he had a nice liner the opposite way to left. Pitch to Stum. Fastball strike, 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Inside. Stum again. He is more than happy to get hit. You're not going to see many guys move less when the ball comes in tight. He has been hit a ton in his career. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Also a smart man. He knows he represents the go-ahead run. Breaking ball stays wide, 2-2.
Yeah, and Stum bats this year in district play with a 200.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. Fastball low and in. And Stum has come back to fill the count at 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, ball 4. Great at bat from Stum. So he comes and shuts down the Bronco bats in the top of the 5th, and then comes out after falling behind in the count at 0-2. Draws a leadoff walk.
And his 4th walk that he's drawn this season so far.
Well, he could be run for here now because he's the pitcher. So we will have a runner. That looks like Carson. No, that is not. I think that's Preston Urquidez going to courtesy run. That it is. Braxton Clyde is without an official at bat. He's walked and then got plunked his last time. Urquidez, the go-ahead run over at first. And he's getting attended to quickly by Kyler Wolf, who throws over.
Braxton Clyde showing to bunt there. Wouldn't be shocked to see him try and do it again here.
He is squaring, and he pulls it back as the pitch comes in low, 1-0. Wolf, 28 pitches, 11 strikes. One of those left the yard on a rocket off the bat of Ethan Kalanick. A grand slam that tied the game. Clyde has gotten his instructions. Steps out for a moment. 1 ball, no strikes. Another throw over. Clyde was squaring to bunt. You don't see many pitchers these days use the middle of the pitching rubber. Kyler Wolf does that. Here's the 1-0. This is a successful bunt. The throw to first retires Clyde, but that's not been a gimme in this ball game for either team. The successful sac bunt, it moves the go-ahead run into scoring position with 1 out for Elijah Guevara. And Clyde still without an official at bat.
Elijah, with runners in scoring position, he bats with a 312. He's got a 200 average. And he's got the go-ahead run standing on second base right now.
He is 0 for 1. He was hit his last time up. First pitch, that is lifted into right field. Graham Daniels ranges to his left. He will put it away. Bluffing the move at second was Preston Urquidez, and it's probably a good thing he didn't actually go because Daniels got pretty good wood on that throw from first. So Guevara is quickly the second out. And it'll be up to Carson Roy. Roy is 1 for 2, reached on an error in the first, hit a solo homer in the third, walked and scored. That walk brought home a run, so he's got a couple of RBI. The go-ahead run is at second with 2 outs. First pitch ducks in toward the back foot of Roy, gets out of the way. It's ball 1. Roy has spent pretty much the entire game on the base paths.
He bats this season with a 300 with runners in scoring position and a 440 normally.
Here comes the 1-0. That is maybe a changeup. I think Wolf took a little bit off of that, placed it on the outer half, 1-1.
Second in the team with 16 RBIs, and he leads the team with 4 home runs now.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Go ahead run at second. We're tied at 7. The pitch inside and low. 2-1. Saturday was just the 3rd game this year that Roy has failed to reach base safely. Well, he's got right back on pace as he's been on base 3 times, but 2 of them safely. He reached on an error in the first. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Roy has already gone deep once in the game. Here's the 2-1. High and outside, 3-1.
Yeah, and I mean, just to keep saying how great of a season Roy's had, if he gets a triple, he not only ties the single season record for triples, but he also ties the all-time record, both held by Josh Livingston.
3 balls, 1 strike. Wolf's got to be careful. Here it comes. Ball 4. Missed low. Roy reaches again. His second walk in his many plate appearances. And there's Ethan Kalanick, who's having the game of his life. He's 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a grand slam. Kalanick waits on the first pitch. Here it comes. And that is line to center, coming on hard. And the ball will get past the center fielder. Aldridge made the play. Coming home to score is Urquidez, and the Blue Hawks lead it 8-7. That's a hit all the way, as that was a tough play by the center fielder. It is a 5 RBI night for Ethan Kalanick, who's at second base, and the Blue Hawks have their first lead. It's 8-7.
And a chance to extend the lead for Ethan Kalanick, and he delivered. A couple of errors on that play, too, whenever it got back to the infield. Roy not sure if he could run. Took the safe bet, staying on third, as when it came back, it bounced off the pitcher's glove, and it went straight towards the Rock Hill dugout.
In the last inning, the Blue Hawks trailed this game 7-2. Here's the first pitch to Gonzalez. It misses low, ball 1. The Hill now leads at 8-7. They have scored in 4 consecutive innings. Roy at third, Kalanick at second. The pitch, that is topped on a couple hops over to Bryce Dahl at second. The throw is in time. The Blue Hawks strand runners 6 and 7, but it was Ethan Kalanick. He's got a 5 RBI night. RBI number 5 has given the Blue Hawks an 8-7 lead as we go to the 6th. This is Blue Hawk Baseball from Regency Sports.
This is Senior Reed Tebow from your Rock Hill Blue Hawks. Baseball season is in full swing. Why not renew your home for spring with custom shelving from Urban Farmhouse Group? Their products can be found by searching Urban Farmhouse Group on Etsy.com. The Blue Hawks thank Urban Farmhouse Group for their support of Rock Hill baseball broadcasts.
We'll have a couple of defensive adjustments for Sean Stanton and the Blue Hawks as Mo Singleton has come out to his normal right field spot. I would expect that will mean Ethan Kalanick. I don't think the guy with a grand slam and 5 RBI is getting lifted from the game. So he's going to move over to left. Elijah Guevara will come out. And Trevor Stum now has been staked to a lead, 8-7. 8 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, 7 left for the Blue Hawks. 7 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, and 7 left for Boyd. He will face the 3-4-5 hitters, Reagan, Blakeman, and Schwartz.
So 2 innings for the Broncos to try and respond to Rock Hill. And such an important game district-wise for Rock Hill.
Reagan is 1 for 3. An RBI single in the first to cap a 12-pitch at bat. Reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the second. First pitch. That was a breaking ball. I think came out of Stum's hand a little funky. Comes in high, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball high, 2-0.
Yeah, and the hit from Reagan means that he's 1 for 6 in the series against Rock Hill so far.
Trevor Stum, the second Blue Hawk pitcher. He replaced Brady Slanina after Slanina went 4. Stum's 2-0 pitch. Low and in, 3-0. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That catches the outer half, 3-1. The Blue Hawks have retired the leadoff man only twice tonight. Here's the 3-1. Strike called at the knees, 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. Stum steps off, wants the signals one more time. Works off the first base side of the rubber to Stum. Brings that glove up. Now kicks and deals. The 3-2. Ball 4. Just missed hitting him in the arm. And for the 4th time tonight, the Broncos have the leadoff man on. Josh Blakeman is 1 for 2. Blue Hawks leading 8-7 in the top of the 6th. They trailed 5-0. They trailed 7-2. They tied it with 5 in the 4th and then took the lead on Ethan Kalanick's 5th RBI of the game in the 5th. Blakeman squares to bunt. This one he gets off. Stum off the mound. He'll go to first, and the ball eludes Brady Slanina. And this one is 2 arms up. So the Blue Hawks, with some spotty defense here in the 6th, have the tying run at 3rd and the go-ahead run at 2nd with nobody out for Joey Schwartz. That will be an error on Stum.
Yeah, and for Blakeman, it was, I think, a contributing factor to that was just the speed that he had going to first, forcing Stum to try and make the throw fast. It forces an error, and it'll allow 2 runners in scoring positions here.
Blakeman will be run for, as it's Cade Malinowski is the go-ahead run at 2nd. Cade Reagan, the tying run over at 3rd. Joey Schwartz is 0 for 1. Boyd trying to take this lead right back. First pitch. That is hit well to left. Look out. Ethan Kalanick will turn and watch it get out of here. A 3-run homer for Joey Schwartz has given Boyd a 9-8 lead, or excuse me, a 10-8 lead. So the Blue Hawk lead is short-lived. Boyd has scored 3 runs here in the 6th, and there's nobody out.
Joey Schwartz proving that he can show up big when needed. As remember earlier in the game, he had that 11-pitch at bat that was able to draw out this game.
Here's Cole Ashley. He's 0 for 2. The first pitch misses low, ball 1. And again, 2 of the guys that just came around on that home run reached on a walk and an error. 1-0 pitch. Cut on and missed. It is 1-1. One ball, one strike. Bases empty, nobody out. 3 runs in for Boyd here in the 6th. The pitch. That is rolled foul on the right side. 1-2. This just the 3rd time this year the Blue Hawks have allowed 10 or more runs in a game. One of them came to Plano West week before last, and then the other was the 11-1 loss to Allen, the 1-2. Check swing, foul back. Blue Hawks will have Slanina, Tebow, and McDaniel up in the bottom of the 6th. They'll be trailing by at least 2. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Strike 3 called. Good-looking hook. Nice pitch from Stummy. 1 out here in the Boyd 6th.
Yeah, I think the Rock Hill defense, this could be another game-defining moment here. When you're down 2, you need 2 outs.
You've shown you could score, so I don't think anyone's too worried about a 2-run deficit, but you need to leave it right there. First pitch to Graham Daniels. Big cut. Barely nicks it. Back into the padding, 0-1. Daniels is 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a line out, and a walk. Oh, 1 pitch. Fastball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stum brings the 1-1. That's a good fastball. Swing and a miss by Daniels, 1-2. Stum has the upper hand. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, bases empty. The pitch popped up. Short right field. A bunch of white jerseys converge. It's Mo Singleton calling them all off for the 2nd out. Ty Cherry bats with the bases empty and 2 down. 3 runs in here in the 6th for Boyd. Again, they led the game 5-0. They led 7-2. They trailed 8-7, and now they lead 10-8. The pitch fouled back into the screen. We talked in the pregame. The Blue Hawks are 3-6, and in 3 of those district losses, they have had the lead in the 7th inning or later. In this one, they had the lead in the 6th. No balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Right back to Stum. Bounces out of his glove, but he'll have an easy underhand toss to Slanina for the 3rd out. But more damage done. The Broncos score 3 runs on a big hit. A 3-run homer sends us to the bottom of the 6th. Boyd back on top, 10-8. This is Blue Hawk Baseball from Regency Sports.
I'm Blue Hawk senior Boston Wilson, asking if you're hungry for better meals without the hassle. Discover Wild Fork, your destination for chef-quality meats, seafood, and flavor-packed meals delivered frozen fresh to your door. From fresh, not frozen, premium steaks and seafood, ready-to-heat favorites, Wild Fork makes every meal unforgettable, with variety as big as Texas. Visit the Wild Fork location and prosper at Coit and 380 and taste the difference for yourself. Wild Fork, real food, real flavor, real easy.
Grady Slanina, Reed Tebow, Aiden McDaniel. Part of a lineup that's cranked out 8 runs on 7 hits, but they find themselves on the short end of a 10-8 score right now. Brian Sutcliffe and Colton Boston here at the Hollow of Rock Hill, a game the Blue Hawks really need to have. As after this one, they will have 6 games left and hope to avoid falling to 3-7.
Yeah, I think this is the exact lineup that I would want if I'm Coach Stanton coming up. When you're down by 2, Slanina, who homered in his last game, Tebow, who is one of the hottest hitters on the team right now, and McDaniels, who homered earlier this game.
Brady's 0 for 3. He's due. First pitch, fastball high and wide, 1-0. Wolves at 39 pitches, 23 balls, 16 strikes.
Slanina is on a 6-game hitting streak.
He waits on the 1-0, not quite, as Kyler Wolf has taken out some reading material, or he's got signals on his armband or something. Yep, he's looking down at it to make sure he's on the same page with his coaching staff. Here's the 1-0. Slanina on one hop over to the shortstop, Josh Blakeman. His throw is good. 1 up, 1 down here in the Blue Hawks 6th. Reed Tebow is 0 for 2. Got a line out, a fly out, and a walk. Mo Singleton, his courtesy runner, was stranded over at third. That was in that 5-run uprising for the Blue Hawks that turned a 7-2 deficit into a 7-7 tie. First pitch, way outside, 1-0.
Tebow in district bats with a .340 average.
Waits on the 1-0. Here it comes. Excuse me, check swing foul over toward the Bronco dugout. I think Coach Stanton was really looking to see if somebody would jump and take that everyday catcher position. And the success Tebow has had at the plate has given it to him. The 1-1, that is smoked into right field, a base hit. Tebow stays smoking hot.
Up next for your Rock Hill Blue Hawks, number 3, Aiden.
8th hit for the Blue Hawks, and Aiden McDaniel bats us the tying run here in the bottom of the 6th. Blue Hawks trailing 10-8. He is one of 3 Blue Hawks that have gone deep. And I think Urquidez is going to come back in and run. McDaniel's 1 for 3. Homered on a full count pitch in the second. First pitch is fouled back. 0-1. Solo homer in the second. Flied out to right in the third. Popped out to the first baseman in the fourth.
McDaniel bats so far this season with a .200 batting average, 13 RBIs. He's third in the team.
0-1. Strike called at the knees, 0-2. Trevor Stum on deck. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at first. The pitch, way outside. 1-2. Not only did McDaniel homer on a full count pitch in the second, he was down in the count at 0-2 in that plate appearance. Came to fill the count out and then let it rip, the 1-2. That is fouled over the screen. We'll keep it at 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Urquidez at first. Here's the 1-2, low and away. If you think of baseball value as measured by the length of games, not many teams have given you more value than the Blue Hawks this year. Starting district with a 4.5-hour game out at Allen. We've had some long ones. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to McDaniel, outside, 3-2. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Blue Hawks trail 10-8. Aiden McDaniel bats as the tying run. This was the exact same situation that he had when he went deep in the second. It was 0-2, then filled the count. A throw over back in is Urquidez. Didn't have much of a lead. Being held on by, that is not Cole Ashley over there, I don't believe at first. They've made all sorts of defensive changes.
And correct me if I'm wrong here, but he not only was 0-2, then filled the count, but he also had 1 out.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the payoff. Ball 4. Great eye from McDaniel. He walks, heads to first as the tying run, and Trevor Stum bats as the go-ahead run. Stum is 0 for 1. And Coach Stanton is asking for a word with the home plate umpire. So Coach Stanton may be moving some things around here. We shall see. Boyd leads 10-8 in the bottom of the 6th, and I believe Trevor Stum is perhaps not going to hit as he's heading back to the dugout. We'll see who comes popping out of the dugout. Cole Carroll is going to pinch hit here, I believe. Yep. Cole Carroll has had some big swings of the bat in this ballpark. It was last season, if I recall correctly, it was in a big game the Blue Hawks needed to have against Plano East, where he had a grand slam.
Carroll this season bats with a .250 average. He's got 2 RBIs.
Runners at first and second with 1 out. First pitch, way outside. Nice job by Schwartz to keep that in his mitt.
I mean, incredible job from Schwartz to get out of his catching stance, get the ball, and not allow.
I don't know how he got to that. I thought that was heading for the screen. Schwartz's 3-run bomb in the top of this inning gave Boyd a 10-8 lead. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss from Carroll, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, runners at first and second. Carroll bats as the go-ahead run. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball. Little outside, didn't miss by much, 2-1. This has not been a huge strike zone from this home plate umpire, which may be part of the reason 18 runs have been scored in a game. Two balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Fastball. Outside, maybe a little high, 3-1. Braxton Clyde on deck. There is activity in the Blue Hawk bullpen. 3 balls, 1 strike. Hitters count for Carroll. The pitch. Big swing and a miss on a pitch that probably would have been a 50-50 call. It's 3-2.
So it's a full count, 1-out situation for Cole Carroll.
Urquidez at second, McDaniel at first. Here's the payoff pitch, ball 4. Missed with the fastball. Boyd fans are livid. That wasn't anywhere near the closest pitch that was thrown in that at-bat. So pinch hitters have done a nice job for the Blue Hawks in this game, and here comes Brooke Court out to have a chat with Kyler Wolf. We'll see if the Broncos choose to go with their 3rd pitcher of the game.
I think I see Morgan Singleton warming up there.
Yeah, he's going to hit after Clyde. So Carroll will be run for. We'll look for a number there. Can't see one, I'm afraid, and it seems Wolf is going to be given some more latitude here. Braxton Clyde's been to the plate 3 times. He doesn't have an official at bat. He's got a walk, a hit by pitch, and a sac bunt. Tying run at second. Go-ahead run at first. Preston Urquidez stands over at third. The bases are loaded with 1 out. As we hit the 2.5-hour mark here at the Hollow. It's the bottom of the 6th. Blue Hawks trail 10-8. They have scored in 4 consecutive innings. The first pitch, fastball wide, ball 1. This would be a great time for Braxton Clyde's first district hit of the year. The 1-0. There's a fastball at the knees, 1-1. Runners at every base, 1 out, bottom 6. Kyler Wolf brings the 1-1. Fastball strike, 1-2.
Yeah, and Clyde's a guy that has about 4.5 pitches per plate appearance, so he's not a guy to swing at a ball too early. He's going to look at it. Has great plate vision here.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Got him swinging. A sinking fastball, a huge strikeout. There's 2 outs. And it will not be Morgan Singleton hitting. This will be Carson Cooley.
Now batting for your Rock Hill Blue Hawks, number 11, Carson Cooley.
Carson Cooley hitting .333 on the season in 7 plate appearances. He's got an RBI. Bases are loaded, 2 outs. The Blue Hawks have stranded 7. They trail 10-8. First pitch, check swing, strike called, 0-1.
Not only is Cooley batting a .300 overall in the season, but a .500 in district.
The 0-1 pitch, cut on and missed, 0-2. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Boyd leads 10-8 in the bottom of the 6th. Carson Cooley can be the hero. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here it comes. Strike 3 called. Goodness, that pitch hadn't been called a strike all inning. And the Blue Hawks leave them loaded. We will go to the 7th. Boyd leads at 10-8. This is Blue Hawk baseball from Regency Sports. That was bad.
I'm Blue Hawk senior Julian Lockhart. First Graphic Services is a Prosper ISD family-owned sign and graphics company that's been providing graphic solutions for over 30 years to the North Texas area. They specialize in signs for home builders, developers, political candidates, school districts, realtors, as well as many other local businesses. Check them out on social media or hit them up on their website at www.firstgraphicservices.com.
You got a little unexpected commentary there as we head to the break. That was a tough call against Cooley. There were some pitches that looked better than that, not called strikes earlier in the inning. And Cooley gets rung up to end the frame, and the Blue Hawks have left 10 men on base. We go to the 7th. Boyd leading the Blue Hawks 10-8. It'll be Carson Wade, Drew Bradley, and Bryce Dahl facing Troy Falke, the 3rd Blue Hawk pitcher. This will be his 8th appearance, all in relief. He has no record. A .525 ERA in 8 innings. He's allowed 6 runs, all earned on 7 hits. He has struck out 5 and walked 7, allowing just a .177 opposing batting average.
Yeah, and I think with a home plate umpire that has been this strict on what they're calling balls or strikes tonight, I think it just really puts a little bit more pressure on Schwartz and on Tebow, and just how good is their framing tonight? How good are they making balls looking like strikes, or making strikes look a little closer to the center?
So it's Cooley now out in right field. And you lose Mo Singleton now as well because he was not a starter. So if you start the game, you're allowed to re-enter 1 time.
It's Joey
Carson Wade is the 9-hole hitter. This will be the third time he has led off an inning, which is a little odd. He is 1 for 3. He's got a single. Falke's got to come in and slam the door. Give his guys a chance to walk this thing off in the 7th. A game the Blue Hawks really need to have. They trail 10-8. First pitch from Falke is a good pitch, swung on and missed, strike one. Falke in true reliever style, always working out of the stretch. 0-1 pitch. That is lifted to left, and it'll get down for a single. That is 10 hits for the Broncos. It'll send us to the top of the order. And Drew Bradley, who is 2 for 3. He's got a double, a single, and has scored 2 runs.
Yeah, you've mentioned it, is that the top of the order can really put some numbers up against Rock Hill. So Drew Bradley coming in a game down 2 runs. It's a tough situation.
Aiden McDaniel charges in, takes the first pitch for a ball. Does Bradley? It's 1-0. Bradley looks down and gets instructions from the third base coach. Carson Wade at first, nobody out, top 7. Boyd looking to extend a 10-8 lead. The 1-0 pitch, and this one was in tight, and Bradley ended up fighting it off. On the right side, it's 1-1. Now the success that the Blue Hawks had, even though they didn't score in the 6th, is they'll turn the lineup over in the 7th. It'll be Carson Roy, Ethan Kalanick, and Anthony Gonzalez to start the inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Falke a throw over, back in with a dive is Wade. Again, we'll be right back here night after next as the Plano East series will get started with a Thursday night affair. One ball, 1 strike. Here it comes. And that is hit to left in the air. Ethan Kalanick comes on a couple steps. He's got it. There's 1 out in the 7th.
Very important first out in the 7th. Down 2 runs. The least amount of runs you can minimize it to, the better. And it helps take some pressure off of Carson Roy, Ethan Kalanick, and Anthony Gonzalez. If you can keep it to just 2 runs, it's just 2 runs.
Yeah,
anything
bloop
more.
and a bomb. Bloop and a bomb to tie the ball game. Bryce Dahl's got a 3-hit night. Throw over. Back in safely is Wade. Dahl singled and scored in the 1st. Singled and scored in the 2nd. Singled and was stranded in the 4th, and finally was retired on an infield pop-out his last time up. Has 3 of the team's 10 hits. First pitch. This is high, 1-0. Dahl stepped out for a moment. Now he's back in. Facing the third Blue Hawk pitcher, the 1-0, Troy Falke. That's a good fastball on the inner half, 1-1. Carson Wade reached on a leadoff single to left. He's still staying over there at first with 1 out. The throw over. Closer play this time. Good tag applied by Slanina. But Carson Wade in safely.
Dahl's shown that he can be really good in these high pressure situations.
1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. Fastball, strike, 1-2.
He went 1 for 3.
Yeah, you can't be complaining on that after the Carson Cooley strike 3 call. Can't be complaining about that one. One ball, two strikes, one out. Runner at first. The pitch from Falke is a breaking ball that bounces in. It goes off the heel of Tebow's glove. It allows Wade to move into scoring position. It'll be a wild pitch. So RBI opportunity for Dahl.
Dahl on Saturday went without an RBI, but he did have a double. He went 1 for 3.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And there's a balk. I think the ball came out of Falke's hand when he was on the rubber. So now an important insurance run for Boyd over at third base with 1 out, and the infield will come all the way in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Dahl asks for time as soon as he gets in the box. Two balls, 2 strikes. It's on its way, and that is hit to the shortstop. Lucas Bell, throw over to first, backhanded by Slonina. There's 2 outs. Infield will return to their normal positions.
That'll bring up Cade Reagan for the Broncos.
The only time Reagan has come to the plate without a runner on base, it was when he led off the 6th. He was the starting pitcher for the Broncos. He's up with 2 outs and a runner at third. The pitch. Good one from Falke, outside corner, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Here it comes. And that is stroked to left. It will get down. The insurance run comes home. Cade Reagan chugging around first, takes a huge turn. It's an RBI single, and Boyd leads it 11-8. So the Blue Hawks will have a little bit more work to do in the bottom of the 7th. They now trail by 3, 11-8. They've trailed by 5 twice in the game. The second time they were able to come back and tie it with a 5 spot in the 4th. They then led the game 8-7 going to the 6th before the 3-run Josh Schwartz homer turned the game on its ear. First pitch to Josh Blakeman is a called strike, 0-1.
Yeah, and that's Cade Reagan's first RBI of the series, and Josh Blakeman already has an RBI in the series. Went 2 for 4 with an RBI and a double on Saturday.
No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here it comes, and that is lofted to right. Coming on is Carson Cooley, and he'll take it on his way to the ground. Nice play by the right fielder. But Boyd with a run on a couple of hits. They leave a man, and we go to the 7th. Blue Hawks need 3 to tie, 4 to win. They trail 11-8. This is Blue Hawk Baseball from Regency Sports.
Attention North Texas ball players. Step up your game with the NTX Tribe Baseball Club. This is Blue Hawk senior Ethan Kalanick. They offer elite baseball and softball training, top facilities, and a winning brotherhood for players of all ages. Join the NTX Tribe today and take your skills to the next level. Visit ntxtribebaseball.com. NTX Tribe Baseball, where champions are made.
Carson Roy, Ethan Kalanick, Anthony Gonzalez will get things going here in the 7th. Rock Hill leading a game they really need, 11-8. And Kyler Wolf will come out to try to close this thing out. He's thrown 63 pitches.
And for the Blue Hawks, Carson Roy will lead this off.
He is 1 for 2. He's walked in his last 2 plate appearances. He has 2 RBI, one of them coming on his 4th home run of the year in the 3rd.
Yeah, and Roy leads the Blue Hawks in 7 different batting categories. He's got a 6-game hitting streak now. And he bats with over the season of 441.
Okay, it is Cade Reagan is the first baseman. As we're slowly starting to figure out who Brooke Court has been putting in different spots in the outfield.
Up next for your Rock Hill Blue Hawks, number 1.
And this is where you got to have conversations, particularly with guys at the top of the order who have hit home runs in the game. You got to sit them down and say, you know, we need base runners right now. So while we'd love for you to hit one out again, let's get you on base. Well, Carson Roy has reached safely 3 times, but he's been on base all 4. He reached on an error in the first. The first pitch from Kyler Wolf was a fastball strike, 0-1.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference between the way the Boyds played this offensively and Rock Hill is Boyd has been very consistent tonight with, let's get runners on base. Let's just see what we can do here. Rock Hill very big with power, but I think right now consistency is key.
0-1. Fastball strike on a pitch that Roy, like he was trying to get out of the way of. It's 0-2. Boyd has 11 hits. 9 are singles. Blue Hawks have 8 hits. 3 of them are bombs. Here's the 0-2 pitch, way outside. Just a waste pitch from Wolf. Roy not offering. It is 1-2. Carson digs back in, waits on the 1-2 pitch. It's on its way, and that is lifted to left. Got underneath it. Drew Bradley has got it right where he stands. There's 1 out in the 7th. Well, win or lose, Ethan Kalanick's going to remember this game for a long time. He is 4 for 4 with 5 RBI, 3 singles, and a grand slam.
Up next now, Ethan Kalanick.
First pitch to Kalanick. Fastball strike, 0-1.
Kalanick in district play bats with a 350.
And not anymore. With a 4 for 4 night, that number's going up. Here's the 1-0. Cut on and missed. No balls, 2 strikes. The Blue Hawks are now having to protect that outer corner as that strike zone is widened just a little bit as we've headed into the later innings. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases empty, bottom 7. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and there's 2 outs. Kalanick finishes a crazy 4 for 5 in the game, and it's up to Anthony Gonzalez, who is 0 for 3 with 3 ground outs, and he's also been hit by a pitch. Blue Hawks have got to find a way to score 3 runs with 1 out. There are 2 down, bases empty. First pitch, low and away, ball 1.
It's on Gonzalez to keep this game alive, and he bats this year with a 385, 9 RBI, 3 doubles on the season so far.
The 1-0 pitch. That is hit to the shortstop. Josh Blakeman has it. He'll fire to first, and that is the ball game. The McKinney-Boyd Broncos come in and take a huge step by beating Rock Hill 11-8 as we give you the final numbers. The Boyd Broncos, 11 runs on 11 hits. They commit 2 errors and leave 8. The Rock Hill Blue Hawks, 8 runs on 8 hits. They commit 3 errors and leave 10 in a game that takes 2 hours and 48 minutes. The Rock Hill Blue Hawks, with the loss, fall to 12-9-2, but more importantly, they are 3-7 in district play now. And the McKinney-Boyd Broncos get a critical district win to move to 5-3. Brian Sutcliffe and Colton Boston here, and again, this one had a little bit of everything. Had big hits, some big pitching late for McKinney-Boyd, and it's the Broncos getting the sweep. And the reason the Blue Hawks were able to make the playoffs last year at 11-5 is they didn't get swept by anybody. And this is the 3rd sweep now, and they put themselves in a spot where they knew they needed this one to be fully in control of their destiny. Certainly not eliminated or anything by any stretch with this loss, but at this point, you can't lose again, and now you're going to need some help. So that will start with Plano East coming in here on Thursday. It will be a 7:30 first pitch. We'll have the pregame show starting at 7:20. A lot to like for the Blue Hawks. They finished with 8 hits, 3 home runs in terms of fireworks with the long ball. They hadn't had a game like this all year, so certainly there was a lot to cheer about. But, again, it razor thin, another tight game going down to the wire. And, Sean Stanton said to his guys a couple of games ago, he said, just too often we've not found ways to win. And, unfortunately, that is the case again tonight as the Blue Hawks fall 11-8. Colton Boston, a great job as always, my man. This was a fun game to call, but it goes the way of the Broncos. They win it 11-8 for the entire Regency Sports broadcasting crew. I'm Brian Sutcliffe. We'll see you on Thursday. 11-8, Boyd is the final. So long, everybody.